Good. Wait. Oh, I'm sorry. Good morning. We are here today. It is Monday. Hopefully you guys had a good holiday. Markets are honestly up pretty big here this morning if you take a look at them here. Oil's up to 110s though. NASDAQ is over 24,000. It's at 24,295 this morning. A lot of stuff happened. The president honestly has been tweeting nonstop for like 48 hours here. So he continues to tweet. Originally, he set the deadline for more escalation in this conflict for tonight at 8 p.m. He pushed it back, I think, in another tweet. He basically said, now it's tomorrow. Tuesday will be power plant day and bridge day all wrapped up in one. There will be nothing like it. He said, quote, open the effing straight or you'll be living in hell. And more escalation. So interesting market though. The market is honestly up pretty decently here. If you look at this, let me get my scanner up. You know, I was out of town in Louisiana at a crawfish boil and my computer restarted here. So let me get all this up and running. But oil is actually down a little bit on the day. S&P 500 up. Here's the scanner that we normally have. Let's make this higher here. There we go. And yeah, let's see what happens today, guys. Tomorrow is deadline day. We also have a lot of craziness going on this week. We have CPI inflation data, the first CPI report for March since this conflict started. And so that's going to be really relevant, really important, just because we're going to see where inflation is looking since this conflict started. The March inflation report, the inflation report since March, the conflict started in March, drops Friday this week. On Thursday, we get another GDP report, and the GDP reports have been trending negatively. They've been trending bad. The last one was 0.7%. Previous one was 1.4%. The one before that was higher than that as well. So the GDP report is going to be interesting on Thursday. Wednesday, we have the Fed minutes report. And last Friday, we had the non-farm payroll report, and it came out at a crazy, crazy number. Non-farm payrolls showed up at 178,000 on Friday. If you guys missed the stream, we did stream. Market closed at 9:15 on Friday, but we streamed anyway. And the payroll report came out way higher than anybody expected. They also revised the previous one. So it was kind of good and bad news. They revised the previous one much more negative than it was before. It was negative 92,000 before. Now it was negative 133,000. I think that was the number, is 133K negative. But again, markets are green today. Over 24,000 in the NASDAQ right now. You can see the oil prices falling as we speak here. They are down to 110 even for oil. And we did get more news this morning that Iran suggests that Qatari ships were turned away from the Strait of Hormuz. SNN reports the sound of big stuff going on in Abu Dhabi. The Iranian Revolutionary Guard announces the targeting of American Operation Command headquarters and industrial infrastructure. Now the president is saying that Iran has until Tuesday to reopen the strait. Otherwise, he's going to attack infrastructure, basically power plants, bridges. We also had the JP Morgan CEO, and I heard somebody talking about this in chat. I think it was Steve. JP Morgan CEO is warning that private credit losses will be larger than expected. Although I checked out the text of this letter, it is basically he did say that he didn't think private credit presents a systemic risk. He said when credit cycle weakens, losses on all leverage lending will be higher than expected as credit standards have been weakened modestly across the board. He said the economy continued to be resilient with consumers still earning and spending, though with some recent weakening and businesses are still healthy. He did urge the U.S. to get stronger, keep economic and military power, and challenges we all face are significant. Nuclear proliferation remains the greatest danger from Iran and more. So Jamie Dimon, CEO, did speak. But 14 minutes ago, Trump tweeted again. I believe it was 14 minutes ago. He has been tweeting. Let's see what he said. Okay, maybe it wasn't. Maybe let me refresh to make sure I'm not missing it. Maybe other people are just resharing it. Well, he reposted some things 15 minutes ago, but it looks like he didn't say anything now. But yeah, yesterday he said this tweet. Let me show you guys. Bro, he's Tweeted a lot. Bro, what was he doing tweeting 5 hours ago? I was at 1 a.m. I'm sleeping. Okay, this is the big notorious tweet that everybody's saying. What's up, Britt?
Nothing, man. What's going on, everybody? By all accounts, he pretty much never sleeps.
Right. Like, he posted this one 18 hours ago, Tuesday, 8 p.m. Eastern time. And then he posted another one that said Tuesday will be, quote, power plant day and bridge day all wrapped up in one. There will be nothing like it. Open the effing straight. And a bunch of other stuff that I don't really want to say. Honestly,
so
what's
extreme.
I know, man. Like, look, I'm not very political. I'm really not. But he needs to chill out a little bit. In terms of what he's saying. Like, look, he can say what he's saying without saying it in a crazy way, I think. You know, and again, regardless of whether you agree or disagree with the president, I'm very neutral on all of it. I've said this before. I agree with some of the stuff he does, and I disagree with others, right? I am really pretty neutral. There's some stuff I agree with.
The way he goes about doing the things that he does. Like, he's just so bombastic sometimes.
Yeah. Yeah, Britt's here today. Yeah, listen, what happened to Britt Friday, guys? Friday.
I know. It was terrible.
I know, dude. Listen, I woke up. And then,
I did too, dude. It's not when I was supposed to.
Yeah, I know. I woke up. You know, I went to go check. I'm like, where's Britt, man? You know? I was sitting here on a swing, dude, just swinging, just being like, where's Britt, man? Where's Britt? He wasn't there.
All sad and lonely.
He wasn't there, you know? Somebody said, are you serious? Am I serious about what?
Oh, yeah, about being sad that I wasn't here, because, yes,
that's
he's
true.
Very serious. He missed me.
Yeah, no, that's true. So Iran's IRGC about 10 minutes ago also declared Strait of Hormuz will not go back to its former condition due to regional changes here. All of this is making oil elevated. If we look at oil here over the past 20 days, you can kind of see the slow but steady move up for oil. Here's here's WTI crude. Here's WTI crude. This. 110.30s. Now 110.30s. Now, I'm curious to see what it did over the weekend, though. Like, I want to see. Here's 5 days. Yeah, so it looks like it actually opened up a little bit higher yesterday on the Sunday open. And then it kind of came right back down to pre-Friday levels.
Yeah.
Oh, serious about someone in the chat? No, I didn't watch any March Madness. I was in Louisiana at a crawfish boil. So, yeah. Sorry, guys.
I didn't get to go to.
Yeah, you didn't, dude. Honestly, you could have came, but
I wanted to. I was last minute cooking, burning myself with roux. It was a lot of fun.
To be honest, the only reason you would be allowed to come is because you don't really eat crawfish, right? But if you did eat crawfish, I'd have to get pre-approval first because, you know, my family's very serious about like how much crawfish we have. It's a lot of crawfish. There's like 5 or 6 pots that are usually cooked, but we have to give them a head count of who's coming like a week before we go because
I'm good. Make sure I just need corn and sausage and some potatoes, you know, and I don't even need the mud bugs. And
there's all that stuff there, yeah. Yeah, so we did have 2 soldiers get rescued. I saw that news circulating over the weekend. I was worried about it, but it looks like they got him, you know.
Yeah, I didn't want him to have to climb like 7,000 feet injured or something like that. It's pretty serious stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, it was serious. And then we got news this morning that there's an attack on Iran's South Pars petrochemical facility in Asaluya, according to Fars News. And yeah, again, Bitcoin though, like markets are mostly green today. Look at Bitcoin. So maybe some optimism. I think what we're seeing on like news fronts is a little bit of both, right? A little bit of optimism, a little bit of nerves, and you know, generally though, today we're seeing a little bit more optimism. Look at Bitcoin. Bitcoin is back up to almost 70,000. It was over 70K. It didn't really hold that, but it's now at 69,613. So I'm gonna do a poll today. What's up?
I said, how much did it climb over the weekend, or change over the weekend?
It was last time I looked at it prior to today. It was at like 66s. So as of yesterday, it was at 67s. It went all the way down to 66.5s yesterday, and that's kind of where it's been since Friday. Friday was at 66s as well, so it's climbed all the way back up to almost 70,000.
Wow.
And it did tap 70,000. It couldn't really hold over it. Yeah, is that Brit who abandoned us on Friday?
It's totally him. That guy's terrible.
That is that guy. You know, that's him right there. Get him, chat. Yell at him. I know, man. Listen. I know Brent was so apologetic when I spoke to him. He was like, "I'm so sorry." You know.
Well, it wasn't.
I didn't mean it. He said. You know.
I mean, it was an accident, and I didn't mean it. But you know, like, it's only fair to apologize when you mess up.
Yeah. I might have milked it a little bit, though. You know.
He did a little bit, but then we played Halo, and all was good.
Yeah. You know. That's right. If Bitcoin gets rejected at 71K today, no bueno. It kind of got rejected at 70,000 as well here. So we'll see if it holds. If we take a look at stocks this morning, here's Nvidia. Nvidia back up to 177, hit 179. I think that 180 level on Nvidia makes sense. I think we should be watching 180. I think a lot of people are going to be paying attention to 180.
Like, within what time frame do you think?
I don't know. So Nvidia has kind of been in this range. Nvidia, I would say, has been sideways since last July for almost a year. Nvidia, big range though. It got up to 212, back down to 165s, and it's basically been going back and forth between the low 160s and $200 since November of last year. So it's been in this really sideways range here, and a lot of people are using this to argue, AI is slowing down in terms of growth. But I don't know. I don't think so. I think eventually AI is going to grow. It might have a couple sideways years, but it has been sideways for a long time.
I was going to say, I mean, maybe like a brief stall, but I mean, I wouldn't be shocked if you started to see an upward trend. I mean, at any point, it's just, I don't know what causes these stalls in that type of technology, but I doubt that it's permanent.
Yeah. And to be fair, the whole market, and the whole market does kind of follow AI, but the whole market has been kind of sideways since it's been either sideways or down for a lot of stuff since late last year. Here's Palantir. If we take a look at like Amazon's at 210s. It's had a big dip. Microsoft has had a really tough time over the last few months. Alphabet looks a little bit better, but it's still downtrending since like early this year. Meta, big down. Meta's been pulling back since late last year as well, mid to late last year. So a lot of Mag 7 big tech stocks. You can even look at like Walmart. Walmart's doing a little bit better than some of these other ones though. But I think that's just people transitioning out of tech and into stuff like Walmart. So once people get out of tech, they start hedging with other stocks, and I think Walmart is one of those stocks that people kind of hedge into. Another big story, guys, is kind of the Blue Owl thing going on, the private credit thing. Look at Blue Owl, man. This thing is at 850s right now, 850s. It has had a really bad time last year, this year. This year it's down like 50%. But it opened up last year at 26. So on the year, over the last 12 months, it's down a lot. Private credit issues.
The impetus for the swing?
The private credit problems. So private credit, again, it's a long story, but private credit essentially took off a lot after 2007, 2008. After 2007, 2008, they were a lot more strict on some of the loans that they were given, and so private credit, or that they were allowed to give. So private credit kind of filled that hole a little bit. And then other larger banks kind of got involved with it as well because it was a money-making operation and they were doing really well. But since AI has taken off, right, and since software has seen such a big slump over the past 6 months or more, private credit has been suffering, and it's kind of caused this really driven exodus from software and private credit companies. And so people that are involved in these companies were trying to withdraw, and some of these banks and some of these organizations, some of these companies had to kind of stop the withdrawals and pause withdrawals and stop letting people getting their money out. And so that caused even more fear, and it kind of snowballed from there to where we're at now with it, where there's just been a lot of fear. This is what JP Morgan CEO Jamie Dimon was talking about this morning, which is that, you know, we're going to see some losses there. He's downplaying it, saying there's not a lot of big risks with it, but I mean, he's the head of JP Morgan, so he's going to downplay it, regardless what the truth is. But yeah, we also had Tesla deliveries last week, and Tesla's getting more involved with AI, but JB Dimon did publish his annual letter. He highlighted political tensions, oil shocks, concerns about Europe's direction. He downplayed the systemic risk from private credit, but warned of higher losses and low transparency. He also flagged slower IPO activity in private equity and risks. So,
okay. So I know it hasn't been much time, but has there been any update on the Meta lawsuits?
no, I don't think so.
I mean, I didn't really expect there to be. It hasn't been probably long enough, but I was just curious.
Yeah. So yeah, Meta, they found it liable, $375 million penalty for failing. I don't know.
Yeah.
I think it's good, but I also think, you know, I don't know. It's a little bit. I'm kind of neutral.
Well, it's hard to strike that balance between, you know, trying to make a profit and then, I guess, moral responsibility. I don't know.
Right. No, that's right. Let's do a poll here today, guys. So do we get a red or green day? Honestly, the NASDAQ is green on the day. The NASDAQ's at 24,300s here. So the NASDAQ is green. You can see the previous closing price on the NQ right here. So this is where we closed. This is where we are now. So we're slightly green, you know. We've got a little bit of room. The volume weighted average price is sitting right there at 24,200. I'm just going to ask a very simple question today. That's, do we close red or green today? Dude, does the are you actually no, let's switch it. Are you bullish or bearish on equities and indices today? Bull or bear? There's the poll. And I'm you know what? I'm even going to add a neutral option here. Are you bullish or bearish on equities and indices today, bull or bear, or neutral? Vote on that poll. Let me know how you feel. World has 100 trillion debt with global GDP at 105 trillion. Even when war ends, the debt will increase, hence the interest. Yeah, look, gold and silver, they're green on the day as well. Gold, yeah, gold up to 4,700s still. It's doing okay. It had a big pullback on the first. Kind of back up though. Silver, kind of same thing. Saw a big swing down. Yeah, I mean, look, we have to look at things objectively in regards to the president. The president gives a lot of. All I'm saying is he gives a lot of deadlines that don't necessarily get followed through on. You know, like even the first deadline. He said the first deadline was 8 o'clock tonight. That's what I titled my stream. You know, and then I looked at it. I'm like, well, now it's tomorrow at 8 o'clock. And so the question is, I don't know. I feel like he might follow through, you know, on this one tomorrow. But there's a chance he doesn't. And if he does it, a lot of people are going to be saying, taco, it's taco time, you know.
I think he definitely has no problem following through, but you never can tell. He just has such an unpredictable negotiating style, to put it nicely.
Right, for sure. No, 100%. And I see somebody saying your poll options are bad. Options should be bearish, very bearish, or extremely deep red. Here's the thing. We're heading into the CPI print on Friday, and that's the biggest economic report we're getting. It's bigger than payrolls Friday, bigger than all the stuff that we've gotten recently, just because, you know, the CPI report is going to include March. This is March CPI data, which means this is the first CPI print we're getting since the conflict started. And so, honestly, what I personally think is I think we might trend down this week. I think my bias is going to be bearish. You know, we have two options. It doesn't mean that's what's going to happen. But I think there's a chance that we get nervous from high inflation. CPI is expected on Friday at 3.3%. Last time it was 2.4% for headline CPI. Core CPI is not going to be as influential because it excludes food and energy prices. So it excludes the increase to oil and gas that we're seeing since the conflict started. But the headline CPI print, again, it is expected at 3.3% on the year and 1% on the month. Last time it was 0.3% on the month, 2.4% on the year. This time they're expecting 1% on the month and 3.3% on the year. So we're going up almost a full percentage point in year over year. And, 0.7% is what they're expected to increase versus the last month over month CPI print. And I think maybe markets are going to be nervous about that. I think maybe markets, as we head into the CPI report, maybe we're going to get some downward action. I don't know for sure. I'm just saying it's very possible that markets are starting to price in a bearish reaction to CPI. And I think maybe we'll see something like markets price it in the few days prior to CPI print, depending on what GDP and PCE look like for February. And then when the report drops, we'll see what happens there, depending on what the number actually shows up as. But I do believe markets might start pricing in potentially the CPI print we're getting on Friday. I also see Hormuz traffic surges as Iran tightens control. Strait of Hormuz traffic has hit its highest levels in weeks, with 21 ships crossing over the weekend as countries strike deals with Iran for safe passage. Despite the uptick, volume remains far below pre-war levels. Iran continues to dominate access, granting selective exemptions to specifically Iraq, India, and more, while charging transit fees and tightening control. So it remains fragile. But yeah, that's going on. We're also heading into earnings season. So earnings season for these big companies does start sometime soon here. I'm trying to see exactly when. We have Goldman Sachs Monday next week. Yeah, so earnings season basically starts next week. With Tuesday, we have JP Morgan, BlackRock, CarMax, Citigroup, Johnson & Johnson, and more. Wednesday, we have Morgan Stanley, ASML, Bank of America. We got bank stocks coming out early next week. Taiwan Semiconductors is going to be on Thursday before the open. Netflix on Thursday evening. But the big boys that we really have to cover here are going to be the week after, with all the big ones. Tesla going to be on Wednesday, April 22nd. Intel is going to be on Thursday, 23rd. And then we're going to have all the big boys really the week after that. Robinhood, SoFi, Chipotle, QCOM, Rivian. Those aren't really big boys, but I don't know when the other ones are going to be. I don't really see. Maybe they're not scheduled yet. But earnings season's here, basically, next week.
Any prediction on what's going to happen with the big ones? Also, it sounds like you're sucking on a hard candy for some reason.
Does it?
It did to me.
Well, I'm not. Yeah,
Maybe
PC. Yeah, I like hard candies. They're pretty good. Depends on the type, though. I've tried to give up sweets.
Me too, dude. It's really hard. Like, especially around like family get-togethers when people are bringing out cheesecake and stuff that they made from scratch. Like,
yeah. And my family is a sweets family. Like, during the crawfish boil over this past weekend, there's like cake. There's like peanut butter. They make like these frosted flake peanut butter cookies. They make like,
I love it.
Yeah, they make chocolate cake. They make brownies. Like we've got all this different assortment of sweets there. I ended up eating some of them. So,
dude, my aunt literally made a Dubai chocolate cheesecake with the pastry, like the little shredded wheat pastry in there as the crust. It was so good.
I know, man.
But anyway, what was your any? So, do you have any predictions for for the big companies? Tesla and the ones other ones you were mentioning for next week?
Yeah, I mean, I think what we've seen recently is really strictness in terms of reactions to earnings. I think the last couple earnings seasons, we've seen stocks do good earnings. Like they beat EPS, they beat revenue, they beat guidance, and then they fall down anyway. And so
Strange.
I'm curious to see if that dynamic continues really with all of them. Yeah, they're just getting really strict in terms of reactions. Like investors are wanting more. They have higher standards now. They want good EPS, good revenue, good guidance, and they want it all to be really good. I think markets, especially if we're talking microchip companies like Nvidia or AI related companies, you need a beat and raise scenario. You need good higher than expected EPS, higher than expected revenue, and raised guidance. And the margins of that are the margins that the market needs to react well have been getting higher and more and more and more. So we'll see what happens. What do you guys think we get from earnings season?
I don't
Not
know.
you, but the chat.
I know.
Yeah. High capex,
Well, I mean-
yeah. Sorry, Britt. Didn't mean to cut you
No,
off.
no, it's okay.
But yeah, high capex has been scaring people too. Basically, how much money people are spending on AI. Capex stands for capital expenditures. So, how much people are spending on AI is a big story, also.
Yeah, I was just gonna ask if you think. I mean, like, I understand, investors wanting, everything to be positive and good, and like every sector showing growth and all. And I know I'm generalizing here. I'm throwing out just broad terms, but I mean, do you think they're overreaching a little bit? I mean, do you think those expectations are fair?
I don't know. I think there's a couple of stories behind AI. I think AI is going to grow. Infrastructure has to get there, and they're opening up data centers everywhere now. And so I think as long as we can keep the power grid can keep up with it, I think AI is going to grow. But it might take big leaps and then slow down, and take big leaps and slow down. Yeah, let's look at the VIX here. The VIX is back down to 25, which is still higher than normal. Like if you look at a longer term chart on the VIX is still pretty elevated relative to where it normally sits. So the VIX is higher. Also, I see somebody saying it's a matter of time when they suddenly announce that the strait is open, and the market celebrates. And I think eventually we'll get that. But what do you guys think that looks like? Like, how are, short term, what do you guys think that looks like? And again, I'm responding to the question. It's a matter of time when they suddenly announce the strait is back open and markets boom. I don't know. It depends on if we follow through with it and what that looks like. Because again, we pushed back the deadline a couple times, and you can tell, I think personally, you can tell the president doesn't really want to hit their infrastructure, because then he's going to be worried most likely about a longer issue regarding the strait. And we're already going to have a long issue, it's already going to be a problem. Just because the strait, even if we get it back open tomorrow, there's going to be lags in regards to energy prices dipping down. There's going to be lags to everything. So it's not like it's going to be like it was before anytime soon. And so we're still going to see at least higher than normal oil prices for the extended future, I think. Oil, and again, oil prices prior to this conflict were, 55, 60 a barrel sometimes. And so they're at 110 now for WTI, West Texas Intermediate crude. Five to 10 years? Okay, I do hear an echo when you're in, Britt, or at least I did. It's back. I think it's gone now, though.
Okay, it might have just been because I just unmuted my mic. It might have been a little brief feedback.
Yeah.
But I'm not sure. I mean, isn't he like disallowed under international law from hitting like oil infrastructure and power plants and stuff?
I mean, I don't know. Even if he was, I don't know if that's necessarily going to stop him.
Well, me either. It was just kind of just something I was throwing out there because I'm not certain about it. I think I'm right, but I may not be.
Yeah, so I'm looking at hey John, I signed up with Apex using your code. Can't trade. It says Apex Trader Funding symbol CM. That's micro gold. What symbol is that though? It looks like that's like a form of micro gold. What's up, Genuine? Oil up, inflation up, interest rates up, recession, global. Yeah, every time I read the Wanna Be a Trailer, I hear that little Troy song. Wanna be a baller. You guys know. Some of you guys know. Yes, some of you guys know. The other ones, y'all are too young for that, and that's all right. That's okay.
Also, what's micro gold?
So in futures, you could trade a little bit of both, right? You could trade the NASDAQ here, and then you can trade what's called the micro NASDAQ. So one is called the E-mini, and the other one is called the micro E-mini. The one basically just is the equivalent of trading much smaller size. On one of them is the equivalent of trading much smaller size. Like if you buy 5 contracts of a NASDAQ, regular E-mini contract, that is huge size. Huge size. You can be down thousands and thousands of dollars in like 20 seconds. The micro just limits that risk. So if you buy 5 micros, it's the equivalent of half a mini contract. So it's just smaller size.
It's just more incremental.
Yeah. I like it. I like micros much more because you can scale slowly into positions. You can scale slowly out of positions. And again, my thing recently is just slowly adding to winning positions only. So I only add to winning positions. I made that rule a couple weeks ago. And I probably should have made the rule a long time ago. But I only add to winning positions. And that honestly has helped out a lot. You know, I've been trading this account for a while now. With this Lucid funded account, and we've been doing pretty good. If you look at the graph here, let me see if I can look back a little bit further. I don't know if it'll let me, but look at this. So we've been trading this thing, and our graph is really nice. This is our actual profit graph. We made a little bit on Friday too. It's like a slow wave higher here. You love to see it. But it's a good system. Like, we just kind of trade small. We build up a profit first. Like, so at the first part of the day, we build up a cushion, and then we slowly add to that cushion. Yeah, so gold, silver, and large oil contracts are not being traded with Apex with volatility. I think micro CL, so micro oil, is allowed. But because of the recent volatility, I think Apex restricted those, is what I think it is. And again, you guys, you can use my coupon code BGT. BGT at checkout with Apex, with Lucid, with Take Profit, with Tradeify, BGT. That'll work for all of those. So check it out, guys. Check it out. There's now Nano Silver. Yeah, honestly, I didn't know what he was saying in that song for a long time. I knew he was saying want to be a baller.
I still don't know what he was saying.
He's saying want to be a baller, shot caller, 20
Like,
20-inch blades on the Impala.
Yeah, that's the only part I ever got was like the baller shot caller thing.
Oh yeah, the rest I still don't know what he's saying on the rest, but that's okay. You don't need to know what he's saying because you kind of know. You know, you don't really know, but you know.
You just feel what he's saying.
That's right. You know.
Does Brit trade? No, I do not yet. But I am looking into getting into it.
Yeah, he's good. He's starting with economics and going to graduate to trading. Yeah, 20-inch blades or rims. I know what he's saying there, you know. I had a friend that had 20-inch rims on an Impala, you know. It was nice.
No, really?
If you saw it from behind, you might be like, oh, look, there's a cop. And then you pass by him and you're like, okay, that's definitely not a cop, you know. Unless it is. Yeah. Is it time to buy the dip here, guys? What do you guys think in chat? Is it dip buying time right now? I don't know yet. John, can you suggest any Nike entry? I'm not really adding to Nike right now. I'm in Nike. I think I'm just going to sit in it. I don't trust it enough, right?
Are they still sitting pretty low or what?
Yeah, they're at $44 a share. $44 a share. But I probably will add to Nike over some time. It might be time to add to it now. Cops used to use Impalas. Now I don't know what they use. Now
mostly Chargers.
Yeah, now I don't see an Impala. Like, you know, now they're either in like a Ford, whatever the SUV that they use is, or a Charger, something like that. Chat, is it time to buy Nike?
Could be. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm reading the chat. Most people are saying no, it's not.
I mean, the thing is going to keep falling.
I see Harry says Nike seems rock bottom 3 days after earnings. Price seems stable. I see Mo. Assuming you mean no there.
No, they meant Mo as in Mo money.
Thoughts I'm already looking to add. Not an investment professional though, guys. We're not liable if you lose money. Make your own assessment. Trade smart. Should I buy Nike here? I'm already in Nike. It's stable. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know why markets are up as much as they are. I don't know. Yeah, so there are a couple big catalysts, though. I gotta make sure AI is right. When did this? So AI is telling me, and this could be wrong. Because early this morning, AI...
You just cut out. I can't hear you.
Oh, my mic just went off. Sorry, guys. The chat will tell me I'm muted. Yeah, I'm here. Sorry.
Okay.
Yeah, no, what I was saying is I was talking to AI this morning. And AI was like, yeah, the big CPI report is Thursday. And I knew it was Friday, so I had to correct it and say, look, you're wrong. Axios is saying Sunday, April 5th, there was a report that dropped during the Sunday evening session. The report was specifically that Axios reported that the U.S., Iran, and regional mediators were discussing terms for a potential 45-day ceasefire that could lead to a permanent end to the conflict. Reuters also reported that Iran and the U.S. have received a plan to end hostilities from Pakistan that, if agreed to, would result in an immediate ceasefire and reopening of the Strait of Hormuz. The framework could come into effect as soon as Monday, they say. And so if Hormuz opens, oil collapses down, inflation fears disappear, rate cut hopes revive, everything rallies. That could be a way where we break all-time highs again, if it happens. If it happens. Do you guys think this is going to happen? That would be big news if it does. You know, even though oil would still see some lingering effects of this thing for a while, I think obviously markets would rally big on some news like that, especially with the job numbers, which, you know, as they were on Friday. But they did say chances for reaching a partial deal before the Tuesday deadline were slim, and that we've seen this movie before. Every ceasefire headline sends stocks ripping, and then the president says something, or Iran says something, and then it kind of reverses back down. But yeah, it was reported April 5th yesterday, apparently, according to AI.
I kind of wonder if Iran's neighbors are still pushing for a continuation of the conflict, and if so, how much that will affect, you know, this potential 45-day ceasefire.
Yeah, I mean, it depends on which ones, to be honest. But a lot of them are. A lot of them want a ceasefire. The big ones that have been helping mediate were Pakistan. You know, Pakistan has been trying to help.
Oh yeah, no, I read somewhere, and it's been, you know, a week or so, but like possibly Saudi Arabia was like wanting, didn't think that they had been sufficiently, I don't know, tamed, or whatever you want to put it.
Yeah, you're breaking up a little bit.
I'll just mute it.
No, you're good. You're good. Sorry, I couldn't really hear what he said, but I do see somebody that says, I don't get why you hate Lululemon but like Nike. It's not the same thing, because it's not the same thing. It's, to be honest, yes, they're both fashion companies, but Nike's been around for what, 30 years, 40 years, 50 years? I have to go back and check to see how. I know they got started in the early 80s. So Nike's been around for 47, 46 years at this point in time. Around there, 45 years, whatever it is. Lululemon, they might have been around for a little bit longer, but
Looks like Nike's been around for 60 years.
Has it really? Yeah. Not. Let me rephrase. Nike has been popular for 40 something years. And I think at this point in time, Nike also has resellers. You know, there's a lot of different industries that prop Nike up versus Lululemon. I would call Lululemon more of like I'm not going to say a big fad in terms of their interest, but they were definitely a little bit more of a short-term trend in clothing versus Nike. You know, Nike's been around a long time. It has longevity. Lululemon, they just got big during the pandemic when everybody's stuck at home and wore sweatpants and yoga pants everywhere. You know, once that dynamic changed, which it already has, people stopped wearing them as much. Their business slumped, you know? And so I think it's just different. I think it's different. I'm hesitant to buy Nike here. Maybe I will, just because I'm trying to think of situations in my head in which Nike like struggles that much. You know, young people still really wear Nike shoes, right? And so I'm trying to think of a situation in which Nike doesn't survive or doesn't do well long term, but I'm still a little hesitant.
I think the odds of that happening are pretty low, but
Yeah,
might be wrong.
no, me too.
Also, what do you mean when you said that Nike has more industries propping it up than Lululemon? Just like as an example.
I think if you look at social media, if you look at resellers, Nike has this, like, especially with Jordans, but just Nikes in general, have a reseller market, meaning people buy Nikes, they resell them, you know, that props up Nikes to a certain point as well. So Nike has a lot of like industries built around it, social media, they have reselling and more built around Nike. Lululemon obviously doesn't have that dynamic.
And I guess they're also slightly more diverse in that they do shoes and sportswear and socks and, like not just shoes. And Lululemon basically just does what, pants?
Yeah. Well, Lululemon does a lot of stuff. They do hats.
Okay.
Hat'll be $100 per hat,
Oh my goodness. I've never actually been in Lululemon, so.
Yeah, they're ridiculously expensive. Ridiculous. Right, they're affiliated with college pros. Yeah, I think Nike is obviously a little bit safer than Lululemon. I think Lululemon was kind of faddish, Anyways, NASDAQ at 24,300. And to be fair, I'm only responding because somebody asked me about this stuff. I told you guys I thought Lululemon was like this when it was at $500+ a share. And people argued with me then about it. Now it's at $155 a share. So. All right, guys. So the new deadline is 8 o'clock tomorrow. Do you guys think the market sticks to this? Or do you guys think he sticks to it? We'll see. We are going to trade today. It is almost 8 o'clock in the morning here. Let me know what you guys ate yesterday. Curious.
What did you eat besides crawfish, John? Or was it mostly just crawfish?
I ate gumbo. We ate macaroni and cheese gumbo. Like a turkey. We ate mac and cheese gumbo, turkey, green beans, crawfish pie, and something else. I can't remember what else there was. And like a broccoli casserole is what we ate.
I love broccoli casserole. Like broccoli and rice or just broccoli?
It was just broccoli. We had rice for the gumbo if you wanted, but it was just broccoli.
I'm good either way. We had gumbo, potato salad, macaroni and cheese, some kind of roast that my cousin did that was really good. Several like cheesecakes and strawberry shortcakes and things like that. What else? Chopped kale salad. It was all really, really good. My aunt did a rice dressing that was awesome.
Yeah.
What is gumbo? Gumbo is a roux-based dish, which if you don't know what roux is, it's flour browned in oil. And then you add chicken stock or water to it or whatever. And then you just add chicken or sausage or andouille or seafood if you want. I mean, you can put all kinds of stuff in gumbo. But it's a very thick, like strong, rich type of soup, basically.
Yep.
And I made the gumbo yesterday and it was awesome.
Yeah. I'm so at a geopolitical is risk off now. There's geopolitical risk off dynamic. Yeah, CPI this week will be really interesting, I think. Do you guys think we get a bullish or bearish reaction to CPI is the question. Do we get a bull or bear reaction? I think we could go either way, honestly. And don't we have, let me see, I thought we had ISM PMI. We do have ISM PMI today. So we have ISM services data coming out today at 10 a.m. So that's something. We do have ISM services coming out today. So that might actually cause a little bit of a reaction here. Remember, ISM services is the Institute of Supply Management Purchasing Managers Index. So today that releases, it is for March. So let's see what the services sector looks like. I'm assuming it's going to be high. The forecast is 55.4, just because the jobs numbers were so strong. All right, so I see bear. This is a fake bounce. So many variables swirling. Nobody even going to care about these reports. I think they're going to care about this one. I think this one is a little different. People cared about non-farm payrolls and unemployment data on Friday. Unemployment showed up low, payroll showed up high, although it was kind of mixed. You know, we had super high payrolls, but then big revisions, negative revisions to the previous one, so. British.
No,
Yeah,
I'm not Cajun. I'm Cajun adjacent.
Yeah, we should call. We have the most British sounding talk show in the world if we did. Britain, London. You know?
Sounds
It'd be
like
the
a
most
potential buddy cop show.
Well, it'd have to be a British buddy cop show.
Well, yeah.
Yeah. Honestly, the Nasdaq's still kind of quiet though over the past. Like the president's been tweeting, kind of causing people to get nerves. I'm also showing. Oracle was named Hillary Maxon as CFO effective April 6th. I think I'm in Oracle as well. I am in Oracle. Look at this movement though. Market, it reacted a little bit, but not a crazy amount. Offer rate 3.66. Yeah, so the president is supposed to have a press conference on camera at 1 o'clock today. We also had the Revolutionary Guard said we struck 5 sites of hostile groups in northern Iraq with drones. What did he tweet? He tweeted a lot of different things, to be honest. The big one is that originally he's like, yo, Monday, 8 p.m. deadline. You've got 2 days. Now that Monday is here, now he's saying Tuesday, 8 p.m. That's the new deadline, guys. But he also kind of went, yeah, he said, look, well, I'm going to paraphrase this. He said, Tuesday will be power plant day and bridge day. And this is quoting, right? Quote, Tuesday will be power plant day and bridge day all wrapped up in one. There will be nothing like it. Again, I'm quoting, open the effing straight. And a bunch of other stuff I don't really want to say.
A presidential.
Right. End quote, U.S. president. So that's what he's saying. And now the question is, does he stick to the Tuesday deadline? I don't know.
I can't even hazard a guess. He's so unpredictable.
He really is. He really is unpredictable.
Which I know is part of the point, but like
well,
you need to at least appear a little more stable. I don't know.
Sure. But I think to give you guys the other side of it, he doesn't want to attack their infrastructure. Is what it sounds like to me. Like he doesn't necessarily want to attack it because I think that escalates it to a larger degree. And I think once that happens, you know, number one, markets probably won't react super well if he has to follow through with these threats. That's number one. And I think he understands that. And it's a public perception battle at this point in time right now. The other thing is that escalating this conflict means they're going to escalate it as well. And he wants to get the straight open. You know, he'd probably rather not do it by too much force. He would rather it be diplomatic. But I think we're going to see it's going to be hard for it too. But who knows? We'll see what happens.
I agree with you. I mean, I think he's said, or at least his administration has implied that they'd like to leave the infrastructure intact for the actual people of Iran. You know, I mean, like they're not trying to consider the administration necessarily, but the people are taken into account.
Yeah, no, that's probably true. John, you give the president way too much credit. I'm not giving him too much credit. I'm just talking about like most presidents are going to be the same way, in which they're not going to want to do it through force necessarily. They're going to want to get it open up with less escalation. And I think that's what he's trying to do right now. I think he's probably trying to do it in somewhere in between, if that makes sense. Yeah, that's kind of I will say that tweet is a freaking crazy tweet.
Yeah, I just can't believe he went that hardcore with it. I mean,
yeah,
he could have said the same thing in a lot softer terms.
Yeah, he should have. This is too much. This is not going to help his, his cause.
Well, it's just, I guess it was a late night tweet. I don't know how much he was how much consideration he was given to what he was saying.
Right. And people hear me say this and they're like, oh, you're defending Trump. And it's like, no, I'm not even doing that. Like, I'm very neutral on all of it. I'm just trying to look at it objectively from okay, and I think you got to look at it like this. He'll give a deadline, and then he'll extend that deadline. It's the same thing with the China interactions. Like when he was trying to get a deal done with China, he'd be like, China has until November 1st to get a deal done with U.S. or tariffs are going up, and then the market negatively reacted to it. And then as we approached that deadline, markets continued to be nervous, and so then as we got closer to the deadline, he said, okay, now the new deadline is December or wherever, February or whatever he pushed it back to. I can't remember exactly when. And so this is not the first time he's backed out of a deadline, is my point is. So what that shows us, again, just looking at it objectively, is that he doesn't really want to follow through with those tariffs on China. He wants to get a deal done with China, probably because it'll benefit markets. And I think you have to look at this in the same way, right? He gives out a deadline. As we approach closer to that deadline and fear gets higher and more profound, then he tries to extend that deadline a little bit so that we can try to get a deal done in time, right? That's the behavior pattern that I see here. It's not like I'm defending him. That's just the behavior pattern that it looks like. And I think that makes sense. I think that behavior pattern makes sense. And so we'll see what happens.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I think, despite, appearances to the contrary at certain times, I mean, I do believe he wants a deal. I mean, like you said, he either pushes back deadlines or he renegotiates, tariff rates and things like that. Like he's not trying.
You're breaking up, Britt.
Okay, well, never mind.
Yeah, you're breaking up. Can y'all hear Britt breaking up? Yeah, I mean, I'm not anything, guys. I mean, again, it's the chat, but I'm very neutral on all this stuff, dude. I really am. I'm just looking at the behavior pattern. That's what this is. No, we sounded fine. Maybe it's just on my end, dude.
I just think no matter how much you may dislike him, sometimes you have to be optimistic, for the office and for the country at least. Like you can't have no hope going into every situation. It's just not healthy.
Yeah. He's not breaking up. I hear him perfectly. Okay, my bad. Are you attacking my haircut, Waylo? That cap definitely fits your haircut. What cap? I feel personally attacked here, guys. Listen, honestly, what happened with my haircut is that they closed down my normal haircut place. And my hair got way too long before. And so I'm like, hey, listen, I need to find a haircut place. I can't remember where I went. It's like Steve's Barbershop or something like that. And my logic was like, hey, look, I'll tell them to cut it medium. And then if it's really bad, I'll just get it cut shorter. And he cut it, and this is it. This is the haircut he gave me. So, listen, don't judge my haircut too much, guys. Steve did it. All right, Steve did it.
I think it looks fine. I mean, like they gave you like a kind of like a slightly 50s style pompadour type thing. I think it looks cool.
Did they really?
Just a little. I mean, like not really, honestly, but a little. Like your hair's a little tall right now, but it looks good though.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know what to do. I'm very routine based, so my haircut guy goes away. I don't know what to do. At first, I was like, let me find somebody that'll get me in now. Yeah, Steve did it. That's right. I'm just glad I have hair.
Yeah, mine thinned, but it didn't completely run away.
Yeah. Yeah. Man, hair recession allegations? Dude, I don't even know what you're talking about. Dude, I got the thickest hair for a 30-year-old ever. I'm not 30, by the way.
Just how thick it is.
Right, dude, it looks like I'm 30 with how thick it is. That's right.
Yeah.
Anyways, we're getting off topic here. I don't know what he's rambling about. I really don't. Anyways. 24 300s on the NASDAQ. Is it time to buy the NASDAQ, guys? Put yes or no in chat. On the good news side, the chat is bumping today. A lot of people commenting. Yeah. NASDAQ. Honestly, there's nothing to really do on the NASDAQ here. Maybe I could day trade oil. I want to trade for you guys. But maybe I'd have to pivot to like oil. Oil might be a little bit more volatile. Oh yeah, here's Pawn showing me talking about Lululemon in 2024 here. Let me see where Lululemon's at in 2024. 2024. Yeah, Lululemon. That's right. Somehow Pawn found it. Let's listen to it.
Lulu, you are wrong. They started pumping men's clothing line too. Yeah, but none of that means anything, Aldrin. Like they've always had men's clothing. What I'm talking about is what got them big, which is yoga pants. And yoga pants are, regardless of whether they pivoted to something else, I'm not saying they're going to fail. I'm saying that it's certainly not 100% sure that they're going to succeed. And I think nothing is 100%, but especially a fashion brand that's relatively new, like Lululemon, that over the last couple months has dropped 40%. And prior to that, it was at freaking $500 a share. It's too new of a company to justify that price point, in my opinion. Now, again, I have two, like, I'm married and I have a daughter. Both of them love Lululemon. All right, we're going to...
I don't think that was the first time I said anything like that, too. Definitely not financial advice. You know? Definitely not financial advice.
But, I mean,
could y'all hear that?
I didn't. I mean, I know it was mostly for them, but I didn't hear anything, even when I unmuted the actual stream.
Yeah. Yeah, who knew, man? We'll see what happens today. But I don't know what to do. What does Jim Cramer say? Oh, man. Jim Cramer. What has Jim Cramer been saying, dude? I don't even know what Jim Cramer's been saying. Let me see. I think Jim Cramer's just been going back and forth. Here's AMD. It's up to 220s. Apple. 250s. No way we're ready. 70,000 on Bitcoin. Yeah, I mean, look, guys. NASDAQ. Still trying to hold here. NASDAQ.
Just a heads up, I had a little power flicker, so you may lose me, but hopefully not.
So it'll be like Friday, basically. Yeah.
No, it won't be like Friday, because I didn't oversleep today.
Yeah. So, all right. So, look, we just got news that was reported just now that Iran rejects direct U.S. talks amid escalation as more attacks on petrochemical plant at South Pars gas field. So, I am showing some news that Iran rejected direct talks with the U.S. I don't really see any movement here, though. The NASDAQ is still pretty quiet. Yeah, definitely told you guys so. Definitely. Yeah. Listen, that's just what we do here. That's what we tell you guys. We'll see what happens, though, guys. We got 24 hours. A little bit more than that. Until the deadline hits. Yeah, the president's supposed to speak at 1 o'clock today. 1 o'clock. I am going to trade right now, but there's nothing to really trade here. I don't know if everybody's still sleeping from the holiday. I'm assuming that's kind of what this is. Yeah, I think maybe people are still just sleeping.
Yeah, dude, it's the itis.
Yeah, that's probably true. You know. Yeah, we get a headline. We have to wait. I'm checking on other breaking news, but we don't really have any. I see Tesla buy reiterated despite delivery miss. Tesla remains a buy at Canaccord Genuity with a 420 price target after quarter one delivery, slightly missed estimates. How many delays will we get? I don't know. Who knows how many delays we'll get. But again, I'm showing Iran reportedly rejects direct U.S. talks following recent attacks on the South Pars field.
I'll look into that, Polaris. Thanks for the advice. Appreciate it.
Yeah, honestly, markets are up a little bit though, you know. We'll see if the market holds. There's nothing to really do here. Look at how slow the NASDAQ is. And I think part of this is that we're just kind of getting baked into more potential news coming out. Because look, I mean, this is a very sideways neutral range. There's not really much to do here. Maybe we start to push up, but the range is so tight. I don't really know what to do on this. I will trade today. We had a green day on Friday. We covered payrolls as well, but it's just kind of boring right now.
I mean, is it a good thing that it's stable like that short term, at least? I mean, I know you want it to grow overall, but...
Well, it's better than down. It's worse for trading, though. Like, so if I want to day trade this, it's obviously, you know, worse for trading. It's just not as good as the big volatile movement that we normally get. Yeah, I've seen Dutch Bros Coffee. Yeah, they're expanding a lot. Yeah, I'm going to look for the break of this range is what we're doing. Just kind of slowing down here. Asia and London are closed. Yeah, this range is very, very boring. Yeah, I'm just curious to see what happens with the deadline, and I think maybe the markets will chop sideways until that type of deadline. Oil is still up, though. You know, if we look at CL crude futures, they're up a little bit. Okay, so we lost Brit here. His computer's restarting. So that's what happened. Stone Age. The whole thing is the fingers on. Yeah. I mean, we'll see what we get here, but it's still a little slow. And I think you have to look at also, guys, like the inflation data that we're going to get on Friday is going to be interesting. Friday inflation data is going to be interesting. We'll see what it looks like, but I think the Friday inflation data has the potential to scare markets, is what it is. I think with all the stuff coming out with everything. Oh, is Brit back? What I hear? Oh, wait. I'm gonna hang up on this. You dock his pay? The whole world has their fingers. Let's do a... Where are you guys from today? Guys, where are you guys from? Inflation is fine according to my grocery bill. It was Friday. He bailed on us Friday. Netflix over 100? Netflix is over. I'm in Netflix as well right now. Nebraska, Germany, Toronto, deep in the heart of Texas. That hurts BT. Wyoming, Texas, New Jersey, California, Manchester, Netherlands, South Africa. What's up, guys? Good morning. Yeah, Netflix is up over. I mean, here's the futures market. I could attack this range, but I don't know what I want to do here. You know? We are starting to break down a little bit. I want to see if any news is causing this or whether we're just ranging here. London, Michigan, Orlando, Indiana, Trinidad. Steel. Taco Tuesday. I know that, honestly, that's going to be on a lot of people's stuff is Taco Tuesday. Everybody's going to be saying Taco Tuesday, basically, on Tuesday. Everybody's going to be like, it's Taco Tuesday today. So, we'll see. But... look at this drop. I don't see any catalyst to cause this drop, and it could just be a larger range here. But that's a decent sized red candle. We haven't really seen one like that since much earlier, right before the stream started. So we did get news again. Iran rejecting direct U.S. talks amid escalation and attacks. That's obviously not good. New Orleans, hey, what's up, brother? Yeah. Jefferies raises oil price estimates as well, forecasting WTI at 70 and Brent at 75 by the end of this year, with WI expected to reach 81.75 by the end of 2027. But yeah, I guess we're getting news that Iran is rejecting direct U.S. talks amid escalation as attacks continue. But I think we're still sideways here. I think it's going to be hard to... I have to wait until we break out of this range. You know? We'll see if we reject right here. If we reject here at 300 and then continue down, maybe we'll get a trade, like a short position here. But I do think markets are kind of nervous. Hold on one second. I got to mute the music here and get Britt back in the call. All right, voice call. See if that works. Hey. Hey. Well, maybe for whatever reason, it's only when the video works. Yeah, look, so we'll see if the NASDAQ drops back down here. So we are rejecting around 300 here. I was watching this 300 level, 24,300. Let's see if that continues to reject it. See if we continue to get pullbacks here in this stuff. Yeah, I do see the apology regarding the drone thing. So I did see that, but I don't see any other breaking news come out. I see International Atomic Energy Agency calls for a halt to attacks near the Bushehr power plant in Iran. We're back up to 24,300. I want to see if this level rejects here and we continue back down. It doesn't look like it is. Yo, Britt, can you hear me? Yo. Wake me up when the conflict is over. Look at that big green candle we got. So we just got a big green candle back up here. We're still in that range, but markets are moving a little bit more, and I don't see any breaking news here, really. I don't see much breaking news. Red day after 11 a.m. We'll see. Yeah, I think it's an interesting day here. Here's 24,300s, but markets have just been so sideways. Are y'all short oil? Shorting oil basically means you think the conflict is going to end soon. I don't know. I don't know if we're getting that. I'm inversely married to oil. Maybe we do. Maybe we do. It depends on what happens tomorrow. You know, the deadline is now pushed to tomorrow. He originally said it was Monday. Now it's Tuesday. So, I think I know why this isn't working here. Hold on, let me, haven't looked in the last few days. Was searching for a bit. Yo. Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay.
The prodigal son is back. The prodigal son is back. The war is now over for the 6th time, by the way. Is oil a good short? I did a poll. We have 43% that are bearish today, 42% bullish, and 15% that are neutral. It kind of shows you the split here, you know, in terms of bulls versus bears. I think an easier question for the chat is, do you guys think this conflict is over within 2 months from now? You guys think the conflict is over? You guys think the strait is back open and the conflict is over within 2 months? Yes or no? Put it up in chat. I'm genuinely curious to see what people think about that. I'm giving it 2 months, but
tentatively, yes.
Yeah, conflict. That's right. No way. No, 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 no. Almost pure no's. We got some yeses in the chat. No, no, not over. No, no. Earlier than that. Yes. Yeah, bro, I'm not even trying to defend him on this. Better pull a rabbit out of his... Yeah. No, no. No. July, August. Yes. So we have some yeses and no's, but mostly no's, I would say. More than 2 months. We'll be over before the end of April. 3 to 5 years. The straight, no. Yeah, the straight, it might be open, but it's not going to be open in the same way it was prior to the conflict, I think, obviously, is what it is. So, 2 days and it's over. 2 months, if it's not over the next week, it will be a world catastrophe. For midterms, not for a few years. See you guys, we'll see. It will cool down until the administration changes, conflict ends, and disaster for the world. I bet it'll be more open than it previously was. Really? Do you think it's going to be higher volume? Yeah, I mean, if we get a regime change, maybe. Thoughts on meta? Oh, where's my chart? Hold on, let me find my charts here.
I think it just depends on who actually ends up controlling it, which I'm not sure who that's going to be yet.
Yeah, and that's definitely a interesting question here. Somebody said thoughts on Meta. I don't know, Meta just got sued, but they are down a lot. They've also rebounded a lot. Like Meta maybe at the end of March was okay, obviously in hindsight, but Meta's been pulling back. It was at almost $800 a share back in August of last year. It's at 570, so in that regards, it's cheap. What's the Meta PE ratio? Meta's PE ratio is about 24, so it's not terrible. It just depends on whether you guys think AI will continue to correct back down. That's a different story. I'm not really sure. No.
Nice Mr. T reference, Zero.
I pity the fool. Was that the reference?
No, it was my prediction. Pain.
Oh.
When they were interviewing him right before they fought.
Yeah. No, that's probably true. Yeah. I think we're gonna have pain in some way from it.
Yeah, most likely. It usually works out that way.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, I mean, we're rallying up a little bit here. So we're up some. We'll see. We'll see. But the big rumor is a 45-day ceasefire. Again, just to repeat this, Axios published yesterday, Sunday, April 5th, and it hit during yesterday's evening future session. But potential deal done, or not? I'm sorry. There's rumors of a 45-day ceasefire deal, during which a permanent end to the war would be potentially negotiated in the 45-day ceasefire. It could extend if more time were needed. The second phase would be an agreement on ending the war. And so there's rumors circulating about that, but the market might be ignoring it. The chances for reaching a potential deal over the next 48 hours are slim, according to some. Mediators told Iranian officials there is no time for further negotiation tactics and stressed the next 48 hours are the last opportunity to prevent massive destruction. And when we look at futures here, guys, futures very flat. Some big levels to watch. I think you have to look at the 200 exponential, and I think if you look at this, we pushed right up to the 200 exponential at 315 just now. But so far, the price action is mostly choppy here. So we're not really doing anything here. We're mostly just side. And I think there's a chance that markets move sideways until a couple different dates. I think one of them is tomorrow. Obviously, that's when one of the deadlines was. Tuesday. I think it's 8 o'clock tomorrow Eastern time. That's deadline one. I think another big moment markets might be waiting on is, again, CPI inflation data on Friday. I think CPI inflation data is incredibly important for Friday. It includes March. It is March data, so it includes the energy swings that we've seen now from this conflict, which means potentially higher headline inflation. Core excludes food and energy, but I think markets might be just waiting for Friday outside of all this stuff going on. Markets are nervous and waiting for Friday. We're also seeing that satellite images are showing a massive fire across oil fields in the United Arab Emirates, according to Fars News. So that is what markets are moving on this morning. But still kind of quiet markets here. I mean, we're up some, but we're still in this range. We'll see if we can break out of the range. Again, the 200 exponential is right around 315. So we do have the 200 EMA right around 315. And you can see it did reject it back down. We have this high volume area in the volume profile right here. So we can watch that. We have the lows of this move really around here at 280s. So we'll see if that level holds as well. But so far, rangy market this morning. Not really any good edge unless you're going to short the top of this range and cover on the bottom. It's just kind of slow. We'll see what the market does heading into the opening bell, though. So we do have about an hour until the opening bell, so we'll see what the market does there heading into that period of time. Yes. SpaceX looks interesting. It does look interesting. Which do you think which IPO do you guys think will get more hype? SpaceX or OpenAI?
I have no idea. What do you think?
I think they're different industries. Yeah, I think they're different industries, obviously, but SpaceX is expected to launch the largest IPO in history. So, a lot of people are going to be watching SpaceX, especially, after we had the Artemis 2 flights. Yeah, I went to NASA over the last few weeks. And we went on a Monday thinking it would be slow because we had some family in town. We wanted to show them NASA. But apparently we went on the same day as the Artemis 2 flight. Now, the Artemis 2 flight was in Florida, but just because it was the same day, it was packed. There were so many people at NASA. So, lesson learned.
Oh, so they're still launching from Cape Canaveral?
I think that's it. I don't know. I know it was in Florida. I'm not sure exactly where the launch was. I watched the launch. I just can't remember what it was. But the NASDAQ is starting to test that 315 level, that 200 exponential. So we are starting to move a little bit. Reuters just said Iran and U.S. come to an agreement. You're talking about the ceasefire news? Let's see. I don't see anything like that right now. But I do see, look at the market rip, so you might be right here. Look at this.
Oh, I see that.
NASDAQ broke out of that range on the upside here. Let's see if that's what's going on. We are getting some deep green this morning. Let's look at volume here. Hold on. Meta stock. Look at the NASDAQ. I don't think so. The volume's just not high enough for that type of news. We're going to see a bigger move happen if something like that happened. I think you're probably talking about the Axios reported potential ceasefire that is on the table. But it's not a guarantee yet. And so markets are up on that potential ceasefire news, but it's not a guarantee yet. Yeah, so again, we're up a little bit here, but Kevin, I'm not sure what you're talking about, but you might be looking at the old news that came out much earlier. Yeah, again, if we did get news about a deal done, so Tevin said, oh, a deal's done, a deal's done. If we did get news, you'd see a lot bigger news, or a lot bigger movement. You'd see more volume show up. Volume's a little bit higher, but it's not a crazy amount high. So we are over the 200 exponential, which is a good sign. But news like that in this current market, where the whole market is kind of weighing in on that and reacting to that and is influenced by that type of dynamic, you would see a much larger move in play from that type of news. So, yeah, y'all bullish or bearish for the opening bell?
Someone said, did you not listen to Elon's spill on Terafab? What do you say about Terafab?
Yeah, I'm still looking for news, but I don't see any. Yeah, if there was a deal done, we would have already seen multiple reports from it, so.
Yeah, I mean, it would be breaking on every news platform.
Right, it would be absolutely huge. Yeah, it would be crazy. We are up some, and hopefully we get out of this range here. We're so sideways in range right now that I think we are starting to break past. I wonder if a lot of people are going to buy this dip. If we pull back into this, though, I might short. So I'm just kind of waiting. We did pull back and bounce right at the 200 exponential here, but it's too early to tell. It looks like we're holding, and we might start rebounding back up. So we'll see what happens here, guys. I'm still kind of waiting here. Not a lot of really good price action, although it is a little bit more optimistic for the bulls recently. The bulls are looking a little bit better. I really want to see if we hold the 200 EMA right here and continue up. Also, guys, if you haven't already, check out Lucid. Most day traders lose money. So if you fund your own account thousands of dollars, you're probably going to lose. You know, most day traders do lose, guys. That's kind of what happens. Most day traders lose money. And so again, instead, check out Lucid. Lucid, they give you a demo, they test your skill. You pass the test in futures, they fund you between let me make sure I get this number right. They fund you between 25,000 all the way up to much more. And so it's a great way to learn when most day traders lose. If you look at Lucid Trading here, they are one of the most legit new ones that have sprouted up in the space. A lot of people have pivoted to them. And again, you can kind of see they have paid out over $60 million to their traders. They fund 50,000 plus. Average payout time is 15 minutes. They've got a 4.8 out of 5 Trustpilot rating. End of day drawdowns, 10-to-1 scaling, no hard breach rules, 90-10 split, no payout windows, clear and simple rules, and more. Just really, really useful here. There's a bunch of different options, including direct to funded. You go direct to funded, you can get funded for $238. Direct to funded, Lucid Pro, with only a $90 reset fee if you use my coupon code BGT at checkout. $70 for the Lucid Flex. There's just a lot of really good stuff here. A lot of really good stuff. Direct to funded makes tons of sense too, I think, because it's one of the cheaper ones that they have out there. Check them out. I'll put the link up. They are an affiliate of mine, of course. I am biased because I get paid by them, but genuinely useful. You can also check out Apex right now. Apex still has their 90% off sale going on, I believe, until Thursday. So check them out. There's the link. You still get 50% off for new users. That's the first plug we've done all day. Look, we're at 320s right now, though, on the NASDAQ. Should I buy this dip here? I'm starting to think about it. I'm going to start small. We're going to buy this dip. It's a little early, a little premature, but I'm going to buy it, see if we get some bullish action here, but it's going to be one contract in a very small range market. Also, shout out to Chef. Chef sent out 5 beginner trading gift memberships. So some people just got gifted a membership here. It looks like Guillermo, Rick, K, Bluebird, and Temporary all received a free gift membership by Chef. Thank you, Chef. Appreciate it, brother. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, that sure was nice.
Yeah, that was nice, man. Shout out to Chef, man. Appreciate the love, brother. Oh, excuse me. Excuse me.
Stop that. That was terrible.
I know, dude. I know. Listen. How dare I cough on this stream? Yeah, I might be wrong here. I'm going to start it very small. We break under the 200 exponential. The range is just so boring right now. Oh my goodness, it was a fake out. I lost $15, I think, right here. But I'm going to cut that right now because that was a big wick down here. Hold on.
Oh, man.
Citi sees Fed rate cuts beginning in September versus June previously. I should have shorted. I had the idea of shorting when we got back into this range, but I think we could bounce at 310, so I'll just wait. Yeah, Take Profit is the one with daily payouts. You can use my code BGT on Take Profit as well if you want to check it out. Apex has 90% off. Lucid, direct to funded. They're all good for different things. Tradeify has direct to funded as well with Tradeify 3.0 also. So there's a lot of good stuff with all of them. Again, just use my coupon code BGT if you want the max discount there on any of them. Great way to help support the channel. I appreciate the support, of course. And yeah, we'll see what happens here, guys. Yeah, I think Take Profit has some of the best rules. Like some of the most relaxed rules. Best for beginners as well. So depends on which one you choose. They're all good for different things.
So I'm giving you a lot of moral support. Does that make you feel better?
Oh, yeah. I mean, it does, dude. It does. I expect that. That's what I expect.
Also, apropos of nothing, what did you think of the Night of the Seven Kingdoms series?
I liked it a lot, honestly. I liked it a lot. When I first started watching it, coming from Game of Thrones, it was a little bit too, I'm not going to say too happy. It was a little bit too...
Just not incredibly dark.
Right, yeah, for sure. I expect darkness here. But as it went on, I got really into it. I liked it a lot as it went on.
I actually really enjoyed the lighthearted nature of it because it was lighthearted but not unserious. And then you got a little more of the darkness as you got into the later episodes. So, like, I think everybody kind of got their fill,
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, it was a little boring at first, but
I enjoyed it though. I loved the egg character. Like, he was so cool.
Yeah, I liked it a lot. I really did. I thought it was good. But as it went on, after the battle, nice.
Yeah. Which the battle was also awesome.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, the battle was great. I was sad afterwards, but it was good. It was very good.
I was shocked with I don't want to ruin anything for anybody who hadn't watched it, but the whole helmet scene after the battle, that really shocked me.
Yeah, that was rough. What's up, Fawns? Sorry, I didn't have live chat up. Yeah, that's him right there. That's him right there. That's the Fawns.
Right.
It's the same guy.
My goodness. Henry Winkler.
Yeah. Yeah, that's him. We're talking about Night of the Seven Kingdoms. All right, guys. So look, we did bounce there at 310. The reason I thought we could bounce there at 310 is because we had this level in the volume profile here. It kind of just shows where volume is centered. You get like some of these higher volume areas here, and maybe we're gonna bounce around them, but the range just isn't great. So we're waiting for it. I think a lot of people are probably going to be waiting. I don't know how many people are going to be deeply trading right now. So also Lucid now has, what do they have now? They have loot boxes on Lucid. I had one. I opened it up. I think I got like a 45% discount or something. But I did have a loot box. No, that's not Pawn speaking.
No, this is Brit. John's conscience. Apparently. I mean, according to the rest of the chat most of the time.
Yeah, you are my conscience. But I don't ever listen to my conscience, so it's okay,
Okay,
we don't
nobody
listen to it
listens
anyway. Right. So that's just kind of an afterthought here, Hey, hold on one second. Okay, there we go. All right. Okay, we're back. Yeah, Pawn can hop on before too long as well. His name is Brick, in my opinion, Hanson. Brick. That's the only name he's allowed to go by.
What is this, punishment for missing Friday?
That is punishment. Hold on, wait. So we did get a big green candle show up on the chart here. So we did get a big green candle. I don't see any news that would cause this. Kind of a long would have worked, but it was too risky to hold. Short for Brick House. Yeah, that's right.
I was really gonna think it's my name.
Hey John, hey John, I'm also a Final Fantasy fan. Yeah, I played the old ones. I haven't played any of the versions after. Like, I played 7. It's been too long.
Last Final Fantasy I played was for Super Nintendo.
Super Nintendo, oh man.
Yeah, dude.
You went way back.
Mm-hmm.
Look at this green though in the NASDAQ, guys. So the NASDAQ is starting to wake up a little bit. Look at this green, 336s. Look at that candle here. I don't see any. So Iran has rejected a temporary ceasefire proposal, said it has formulated a response to the U.S. demands to end the war, according to Reuters. Iran's foreign minister says they will announce their response to the 15-point plan when necessary. So we did get some green action here. I want to see what the volume looks like here. Yeah, I mean, we do have higher volume. If you guys see the volume spike, so we do have higher volume, but it's not anything crazy yet. And we really had that news drop a couple minutes ago, so markets interpret things immediately. So I don't think that's what's causing this. Okay, U.S. official says 45-day Iran ceasefire plan still just an idea. White House official told Axios reporter that the 45-day ceasefire between the U.S. and Iran is one of many ideas being discussed and that the president has not signed off on it. We also had Iraqi media report that an attack on a drone and the sound of a powerful thing in Erbil. But we are getting some green, which is better than the chop that we've seen all morning. So we've basically been chopping all morning here. We'll see what we get today heading into the opening bell in 45 minutes.
Any predictions on the opening bell?
I don't know here, man. I think markets still understand we have the deadline tomorrow and that it could get pushed back as well. I think the 45-day ceasefire thing has been boosting markets a little bit, so that's why we're gapping up some. Axios reported this yesterday during the evening futures session. And really, I really don't know. I don't know what we're going to get here. The NFP data... So hold on, I see somebody talking about NFP data. The NFP data came out Friday. So markets are going to react to it today.
Yeah, I know it's not really fair to ask you to make a prediction. I was just trying to put you in an untenable position, that's all.
Wait, what? I didn't even hear you, dude. I don't even know that. I thought you were my conscious. What did you say? What prediction about what?
I said I know it's not fair to ask you to make that prediction necessarily, but I just wanted to put you in a like between a rock and a hard place.
A prediction about what?
About the opening bell, about like what's going to happen. About the
I ADHD'd that. Yeah, I mean, look, we're up a lot. We could fill the gap, and so I think markets could be filling the gap back down to the downside here. I think it's possible we do something like this and fill the gap at the opening bell. What I really watch for is levels. Nobody knows which way we're going at the opening bell. Everybody likes to make predictions. Yeah. And if they're right, they're a genius. If they're wrong, worst trader ever. But the reality of it is I like to look at levels. And so I think obviously the high of the day right around this big whole dollar number here makes sense. 24,400. I think that makes a lot of sense. I think the middle, I think 24,500 for the same reason is going to be relevant right here if we get over this high. And I think below us, we have the VWAP at 24.2s. We have the previous closing price at 24.2s. And we've got some confirmed support at 24.2s. And so I think this area down here below us will be interesting, obviously. If we get down here, I think, obviously we could bounce from this level here. Or if we break down underneath it, we could have a longer term bearish trend. But 24,000, if we go much below us, 24,000 is kind of the line in the sand here. So 24,000 here. I think that's going to be kind of a sentiment gauging level. If we can break under 24,000, I think markets might be nervous. But I also think with all the stuff happening this week, with the deadline tomorrow from Trump, with CPI inflation data Friday, with GDP data and PCE data Thursday, Fed minutes report on Wednesday, I think we just have a lot of stuff going on right now that could influence things. A lot of stuff going on. And so sometimes when we have a lot of catalysts like that, markets are nervous. They're apprehensive. They go sideways. We chop sideways. So I'm going to look for an orb setup at the open, but I also am going to try to watch for how the trend is looking. Like if we're trending well, maybe we'll attack trends. If we're ranging sideways, maybe we'll attack range bound trades. And we're going to use the volume profile for it, but ultimately, Not to give a non-answer, but we'll have to wait and see what happens at the opening bell. Chat, let me know what you guys think. Bullish or bearish?
Not to give a non-answer, but here's a non-answer after
Right.
after a roundabout explanation. No, I mean, it makes sense. I think Hanson's prediction is the most accurate. It'll go ding, ding, ding.
That's true. I think we're going to go to the right in the chart. You know, we're going to go to the right. Pretty sure.
I think so too.
Yeah.
I mean, we could see a reversal. I mean, it's never happened before, but you know.
Yeah, I mean, we could go back.
Yeah.
Chaos would ensue. Yeah. All right, so I see some bears in chat right now. I see Bear, Hayden Bear. I see Ick, bullish. I hate that word. They give me the ick. Dude, shut up, dude. What, how dare you use that word? I hate the ick. Yeah. You ever heard somebody say the ick?
I have.
The big ick that they give me. It's like, dude, I can't even, like, that's like the most cringy word I've ever heard. And that rhymed. I predict there will be no deal at all. None. Not at all. People pounding buy this market. You think there's a buy right here? I think we're up a lot. I think if a deal gets done and the ceasefire is announced, we'll probably break all-time highs. Probably. You know, I don't know. I think if a ceasefire is announced and we get a deal done, we'll probably start ripping up. Oil will obviously get pushed back down. And, yuck is pretty common. Maybe I'm just old. Get off my lawn, guys. Does anybody find it bad that one tweet can make or break this market?
It's bad, but it's not surprising considering, you know, I mean, who the tweet is coming from.
Yeah. You know, we've had a lot of, it's been an interesting month here for sure. I think right now what's driving this market obviously is oil, fear of inflation, and the Middle Eastern conflict. And because of those dynamics, I don't think it's strange that the market's reacting to tweets. They're not really tweets, they're just posts. But I think, you know, we're probably going to see more and more of this as time goes on in terms of presidents using social media to get thoughts out. I don't know if it's good, but yeah.
I just think sometimes it's bad to be able to express your every thought like right now. Like I think because of that, people tend to think through what they're saying less and less. But I might be wrong.
Yeah. I think social media can cause... Hold on, wait. So we are getting some news. Well, so I already covered this news, but I'm showing senior White House official plan for 45-day ceasefire between the U.S. and Iran is one of several ideas currently being discussed, but the president has not approved it. Operation Epic Fury is ongoing. And that a petrochemical complex in Iran was attacked. So we'll see what oil does here. Let's take a look at oil. Nasdaq back in that sideways range. Maybe I should have shorted to move back into that range. Here's oil. Oil's still sitting at 110s. When I first woke up this morning at like 7 a.m. market time, it was at about 110. The oil hasn't really moved much since the last few hours. We've been moving up and down, but the range has still been pretty flat overall for everything.
I wonder if they have one person to just sit around and think up like cool operation names, because like if you notice, like every operation like that we find out about always has some like really cool sounding name.
Epic Fury, bro. It sounds like a video game, you know?
Like Epic Fury, Quiet Skies, Arctic Frost, Crossfire Hurricane. I mean, like, come on.
Sounds like modern. It sounds like Call of Duty names, you know?
Yeah,
like Call of Duty Epic Frost, you know?
Yeah, somebody's clearly just sitting in a room thinking up these names for like future operations.
Yeah. Epic Fury, dude. I mean, listen. Yeah, but White House says Trump hasn't signed off on the ceasefire plan. White House on potential ceasefire plan. It's one of many ideas. So yeah, basically we're seeing a lot of news reports. We covered this like 10 minutes ago, but Call of Duty Epic Fury coming soon. They would never do it.
Had it not been for this whole situation, that would have been an awesome name for a game, though.
Yeah, it would. No more trading without considering the president. That movie Fury is a great movie. It really is a great movie about the tank.
I've never watched it. Who's in that?
Shia LaBeouf, Brad Pitt. Oh man, I can't think of the other guys. The guy from The Walking Dead, the bad guy in season 1.
Oh, John Bernthal.
Yeah, him. And then who's the sidekick in Ant-Man?
Oh. I can see his face. I can't think of his name. He was in Chips, the Chips movie.
Right, yeah, he's funny. He's hilarious.
Yeah, he absolutely is hilarious.
Yeah. But it's a good movie. It's a good movie.
I'll have to check it out.
Yeah. So we're here, guys. It's almost 9 o'clock right now. It's almost 9 o'clock. Let's see what the market does. But market's still been pretty sideways here. Market's just waiting on news. We have the deadline. NASDAQ range is tight and small. Oh, no, Will Ferrell. All right, now y'all are going to make me look it up.
Look it up, John. Peer pressure.
Michael Pina.
Yeah. Oh my God. I hate.
Yeah.
I hate that. Like it's like when you hear somebody actually say them, it's like I knew that. Why couldn't I say it?
Yeah. Yeah. It happens, you know. I mean, we're disappointed in you for not remembering it.
I'm disappointed in myself.
Yeah, you should be. All right,
What's somebody
guys.
saying about Will Ferrell?
Nah, they're just giving out bad guesses here in chat. That's what the chat does.
Oh, okay. I'm just thinking they just give bad guesses.
Yeah, you're getting old, Britt. That's what I'm saying.
I am getting old, man. I'm almost 40. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, man. Listen,
Mentally, I'm still like 19, but you know.
that's definitely true.
Also, speaking of Will Ferrell, what's your favorite Will Ferrell movie, John?
Step Brothers, probably.
I think mine is Stranger Than Fiction. Have you seen that?
No, I haven't. I do like Blades of Fury. Or no, is it Blades of Fury or Balls of Fury? Maybe I'm getting one.
Blades of Glory.
Blades of
Balls
Glory.
Fury.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
Balls
that's
of
what it
Fury is I can't remember. It's not Will Ferrell.
No, I know. Yeah.
I love Stranger Than Fiction because he plays the straight man in it, and it's just like off-puttingly funny. It's dark humor.
Yeah. No, well, I got my son a ping pong table for his birthday a couple months ago. But my daughter and I have been playing it more than anything, dude, and we're getting so serious in ping pong. Like sometimes we'll even like grunt, like you know how tennis players they'll be like you know, like we'll be playing and we'll just yeah, it's just getting so serious in ping pong.
Hitting that 120-mile-an-hour serve, you know.
Yeah, it feels like Balls of Fury, you know. And so
That movie is ridiculously funny.
yeah, pretty soon we're gonna get really good, I think, you know.
Are you gonna be like Thomas Lennon, you know, the East German guy from the movie?
Yeah, that's me. You know. All right. Is Lucid a dying company? You're talking about Lucid cars? I don't know. I see a lot of. Actually, no. You're right. I'm thinking of Rivian. I haven't seen what's LCID. I have not seen a lot of Lucids lately. And there was a period of time where I would see these Lucid vehicles out on the road, and they're cool cars. They're like they're kind of race cars. But I haven't been seeing them nearly as much recently. I see a lot of Rivians, so I think Rivian probably has the second best chance if we're talking about EVs in the US. Rivian has the second best chance outside of Tesla. So
That was one we were looking at last week, kind of like the Bronco-looking vehicle.
yeah. Yeah, I see somebody saying oil is coming back down, and you're right. Oil is dropping down. Not a big move though. Most of these moves are still relatively small. So we're still not getting a lot of like really good action here. It's still kind of quiet, kind of slow. I don't know if this is something happening. I think the range is still pretty quiet. I'm looking at breaking news, but
It's a pretty small scale. I mean, when you look at it, it might just be a natural occurrence, so to speak.
yeah, not a fundamental release of some sort. It looks to be just ranging here for oil. You can see we did see a little bit of a volume spike here though, so something could have happened. But you also see periodic volume spikes in oil every few hours, but nothing big and too crazy here in terms of volume. Yeah, as we head into the opening bell, we'll see if we get some better movement. But right now it's flat. Maybe people were just drinking last night for Easter, and now, you know, now people slept in today. Looking at our poll, 43% bear, 41% bullish, 17% neutral here. Yeah, I mean, the NASDAQ is starting to fall back down to the bottom of the range here. I could short, but I also don't want to short right at the low. So we're going to wait. We're going to wait.
What military brass firings were there throughout the last week?
Yeah, I'm not sure, Mythic. I didn't see that news.
Me either.
Yeah, I didn't see that news. So we'll see what happens there, but yeah, I'm not sure.
Yeah, honestly, I was really kind of asking Mythic because I haven't heard of that at all.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, I don't know. Also, guys, if you haven't already, check out Apex. Apex has their 90% off sale going on. If we look at Apex, honestly, they have some of the cheaper accounts in the game right now. So Apex, their 90% off sale, I believe it ends Thursday. The 90% off sale ends Thursday. They have end-of-day drawdown options, no payout denials, no MAE rule, no 5-1 risk rule, built-in scaling and 50% consistency. If you look at the cheapest accounts they have, $19.90 for the 25K account. If you want the end-of-day drawdown, it's about $30, $29.90 here. You can get a 150K account for $80. If they're not a 150K account for $80, but you can get a 150K eval for $80 here. So if you want cheap accounts, Apex is 90% off right now. It's only going to last for another few days. And again, obviously, they're an affiliate of mine. I'm biased. This is only the second plug we're doing all day, but still really useful here. So if you want to check it out, here's the link. Great way to help support the channel. There's the Apex link right there. Oh, Seth fired a bunch of people. Yeah.
I'm curious. See if I can find what's going on with that.
I can look deeper into it. Yeah, NASDAQ is starting to trend down, though. Here's the S&P 500. We're at 66.24s right now on the S&P, so we are starting to trend down. Is your short opportunity in oil? Is oil still dipping? Oh, no. I'm not shorting it. It's too close to the bell for that type of thing. The NASDAQ is starting to dip to the bottom of the range, though. Yeah, so Thursday is when Hegseth did it. He fired Army Chief of Staff Randy George plus 2 other generals, all on Thursday in the middle of the conflict. George found out he was fired through a phone call while he was in a meeting. Senior Army leadership learned about it at the same time as the public. One U.S. official described the firing during the conflict as insane. Another said, here is a 4-star general who is actively working to get equipment and people into theater to protect forces, and you fire him in the middle of a conflict.
Yeah, they fired the chief of chaplains too. Like I'm sure there was some impetus for this, but I mean, you never know, I guess.
Yeah. Look at the NASDAQ still falling down here. 24,007 or 24,270s here. My original short idea, I should have stuck with it. I told people if it comes back in this range, I was going to short it and look for move back down. I'm still watching for the opening bell, this low area at 24,215s here. We have the volume weighted average price. We have the previous closing price, and we have some confirmed support right around here. Kind of see some support here. You got see some resistance around here. So I'm looking at this level just because we got a lot of milestone areas on the chart that I'm going to be watching. We'll see what the opening bell brings. We'll see if the market gets baked in. The NASDAQ here is green on the day, but it's getting closer to more flat. Like if we get around this range, we're basically flat on the day here. So look at the NASDAQ. It's finally starting to trend red with about 20 minutes left until the open. What's up, Blaze? Netflix is up a lot the last few days. I don't hate it.
How much? Out of curiosity.
It's up to $100 a share for Netflix. Here's Netflix here.
Let me see.
So
Takes me a second to catch up with you on the stream.
Yeah, it was at 90 on the 22nd of March. It's now at 100 plus. So that's a 10% plus move at the very least.
Pretty considerable.
Yeah. What's up, Fimi? Yeah, markets are up on the ceasefire news though. It's not confirmed yet though. It's just an idea, is what they say is floating around. Oh, we do have ISM data. I completely forgot. We do have ISM data. 10 o'clock. It's not 9 a.m. Eastern. It's 10 a.m. Eastern. 9 o'clock Central is what it is. So ISM data might move markets. It's small data here, but today and tomorrow it's kind of small data days, and then all the other big stuff starts happening. Wednesday Fed minutes, Thursday PCE and GDP, Friday CPI inflation is what it looks like right now. So next week we do have PPI data. So usually CPI and PPI come out same week, but because of the schedule, it's been a little different. But PPI inflation is going to be interesting as well. They're expecting headline PPI coming out Tuesday next week to be at previously it was 0.7. I'll have to see what they're expecting now for the updated number here. I don't really show it yet. Yeah, it's getting too political here. Look, I just cover the news. I'm very neutral on all this stuff, to be honest. People think I swing one way or the other. I'm pretty neutral.
I mean, usually you just talk about the fact that something is happening, not how you feel about it necessarily.
Right, exactly. But people hear reports and then think that I agree with the reports, and then they, use that to say I'm pro or against. And I'm neither. Cover news.
Yeah.
Yeah, the entire market is waiting for tomorrow here. Tomorrow is when the new deadline. It was originally today at 8 o'clock. Now it's tomorrow at 8 o'clock. So we'll see what that deadline looks like. But that is like a thing right now. Yeah, I swing both ways, guys. Listen.
That was ridiculous.
I kind of want to short the NASDAQ here, though, into this bounce that we're seeing, but it's probably a little too close to the opening bell. But if we get a pop back up to 300s, actually, you know what? I'll short it right here. It's small, though. The range is so small on the day. We're slightly down, but it's basically a flat day right now. We're going to start small, though, and maybe we're going to get in small here. This is a strategy I've been using a lot. I get in small size, and then we add to it as we go more in the direction that I was looking for originally. But you can see the range is small because, all right, look at the P&L move. It's barely at all here. Yeah. Yeah.
Swinging both ways didn't sound right. It wasn't supposed to sound right. That was the joke.
You need to put out a fire in the chat. Some of us need love now. I don't know if I'm the person to give love to the chat, you know? Market really likes... Yeah, look, if we get a ceasefire announced, I do think the market's going to push up. We get a 45-day ceasefire, I think people are going to speculate that during that 45-day ceasefire, we're going to get a conflict-ending deal done in that 45 days. So I do think that's a possibility. If a ceasefire gets announced, that's generally pretty bullish, and I think the market could react really well to it. It just depends on the details, though. Right now, we're sideways with a big range here. We're basically flat, but we're down a little bit on this trade. Will we get a ceasefire done? Put yes or no in the chat right now. What do you guys think? Will we get a ceasefire done? I hope we do, but obviously, it's definitely not a guarantee.
I hope we do, and I think it's probably a strong possibility, but I'm not gonna. I wouldn't wager anything on it.
Yeah, I see somebody say yes, maybe, no, not yet, no, absolutely not, doubt it. They say no chance. I know, guys. Listen, man, they're still pretty mixed. You know, 45-day ceasefire just gives them time to regroup if they wanted a deal. It would have happened. Maybe. Again, we'll see. It's complicated.
Got all out of breath. My hydraulic just went out. It just went out of my office chair. I was trying to fight it. I'm just fucking like an idiot, just sinking up and down.
Yeah. So you just sunk down in your chair?
Yeah, like all of a sudden it just went out.
Yeah.
I got it. I finally got it back, but man, I got out of breath doing it.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. Yeah, I don't know if we're gonna get a deal done, guys. I really don't. Look at the 200 exponential rejection here. All right, guys, we got 15 minutes. I see Saudi Arabia evacuated one of their main financial districts and told companies to keep staff away due to fears of more strikes. Gotta cut some weight. A lot of fortune tellers in here. Yeah, look, nothing's absolute, and we can go by probabilities, and I think we have to go by probabilities because nothing's absolute, nothing's certain. You know, we don't have all the information here. And remember, Jamie Dimon did publish his annual letter to shareholders where he said the conflict in Iran risks oil and commodity price shocks that could keep inflation sticky and push interest rates higher than the market now expects. He said private credit does not present a systemic risk. When credit cycles weaken, losses on all leveraged products lending will be higher than expected as credit standards have been weakening modestly across the board. So he did think we would get losses increasing in credit, but he doesn't think it's going to be a systemic risk is what he said in his letter. Trading the NASDAQ mostly, but the range is so small on the day here to be, you know, I think some traders are just, it's a holiday still. No way, shape, or form will we get a 45-day ceasefire, 5 to 10 max.
Well, if we do only get 5 to 10, it's better than nothing.
No, it is, and I still think markets will react to a ceasefire regardless, but...
Me too.
Yeah.
And, yeah, I agree we don't necessarily have the audience for the World Cup that, you know, the rest of the world has, but we definitely have a growing viewership base here. Interest in soccer or football, depending on where you're from, is getting bigger and bigger here. At least from what I've noticed. More people are definitely watching.
I think that's true. Yeah, I do think that's true. I mean, I'm not a big soccer fan, you know, but I you know.
Well, like, honestly, I feel like I love to play it. And I think if you've ever played it, it just makes it a whole lot more interesting to watch because you understand the skill set required to do some of the things that they do.
Right.
And it just makes it's impressive when you actually know what to look for.
Right, for sure. Which I don't. I was never good at soccer. I was always a baseball person, really. I like football too, but was not as good at football. More baseball. I wouldn't even say I'm good at baseball either. I was a big fan of baseball.
I played baseball and soccer, and I was pretty good at both, but I was probably honestly better at soccer than baseball, even though I played baseball longer.
Yeah. All right, so I'm still in this position here, guys. I'm still short. I probably will cut this before the opening bell. I'm just not wanting to hold this through the open. I think that's too risky, and we're basically flat still. It's a small amount of losses. The range is small on the day, so we're in 1 micro. Just trying to see if we can get some breakdowns that we can add to, and since we're not really getting that yet, I'm just gonna wait here. If we push over this level right here at 315s, I will cut this. All right, so we did pop over that level, but it happened so quick here, and then we got pushed down, but tight range over the last 5 minutes. We have 13 minutes until the market opens here, guys. 13 minutes. Yeah, look, I'm going to start putting people in timeout if y'all continue arguing about politics. Just too much.
I mean, it's one thing to discuss things, but you don't need to. There's no need to get mad at people when they disagree with you.
Yeah, Oh, yeah, I can hear your speakers. But it's one of those things where you got to be able to look at. You got to be able to look at things open. I did. On both sides, right? You never want to go into anything too rigid. And so you got to look at both sides, understand, people's environmental experiences are so different. And environmental, people are influenced environmentally in a lot of different ways. And so it just depends on your perception here, depends on person. It's very subjective. All right, so we are starting to get a little pushback down here. We have 12 minutes until the opening bell. Mondays, eh? Yeah. All right, so we are starting to fall back down. Let me check news. I don't think any news is breaking here, but we're going to check it nonetheless. Wells Fargo expects the Fed to keep interest rates unchanged this year versus the prior forecast of 2 cuts expected. Yeah, when I look at the odds, most people are not expecting any cuts this year at all, including the Fed watch tool. If we look at 10-year treasury yields, all right, so we did get a breakdown here. Hold on. But yeah, if we look at 10-year treasuries, you can look at 2-year as well, but they're basically flat right now. Today, what is pushing down? Something might be pushing markets down here. More than 10 minutes before the open too. Let's see. Markets now price 0 Fed cuts this year. Yeah, but that's been since Friday. Friday, we saw no cut. Like if you look at December, there's like a 70-something, 80% chance of no cuts this year. I don't see anything driving markets with this either, though. The U.S. Appeals Court has upheld the injunction that states that New Jersey cannot prevent Kalshi from offering sports-related event contracts. Something's driving the market down here, though. I don't see anything yet. Oil pushing higher. NASDAQ short. It's working here. Something's driving the market down.
You don't think it's a natural swing? I mean, I know you can't find what might be pushing it, but you don't think it's natural?
It doesn't look like it. It's you never know. Like we can look at the volume here on the NQ and see that volume is a little bit higher. It could be natural swing. Oil pushing higher is what, and oil is inverse the NASDAQ right now in this current dynamic. So we'll probably add to this now. Like I said, the plan kind of, there we go. Close to lows right before the opening bell. We have 9 minutes left. So we'll hold this break even, see if we can get a good trade ahead of the opening bell. But I don't see any news that's driving this down.
Juan says he thinks it's the Saudi headline.
There was one that happened 6 minutes ago about some areas were getting evacuated. Is that the one you're talking about, Pawn? I do see that. Something's driving the market down here, though. Could be the lower volume area on the volume profile here, but 8 minutes until the opening bell, guys. What do we get? We do have ISM PMI data today, so we got something.
Guy that knows says it's because he spilled coffee and wiped it up with his sock. Yeah, that's a real market mover there.
That's definitely why. You know, it's got to be why. You know, there's no other explanation. All right, so we are pushing down here. I'm gonna cover a piece of this and just lock in profit. Oh. Still getting a breakdown here. Look at this. I don't see anything driving this though. Something. I'm just gonna go ahead and cut this right here and just get out. Short worked. Definitely made some money. But we are heading towards the opening bell here, so you know. Frog died. Bitcoin's going down 10% because of that. Yeah, Bitcoin is that. Bitcoin's actually green on the day, though, if you look at it. Spilling coffee equals emotional trauma. In this new generation, maybe it does. Yeah, look at all it's slower. I think people are still sleeping, man. Yesterday was a holiday. They're still sleeping. Probably what this is.
I know I slept hard. I had some serious itis going on from all that food I ate.
Yeah, dude.
We didn't have turkey though, John. I'm jealous of you for having turkey. I love turkey.
No turkey.
I know it's not I know it's not Thanksgiving, but I love it.
No, you're fired, Britt.
I'm fired because I didn't have turkey.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. So it could be the Saudi news. Again, Saudi Arabia evacuated Riyadh's main financial district and told companies to keep staff away due to fears of possible missile and drone attacks. Outside of that, though, the opening bell is in 5 minutes. Yeah, we're waiting for the opening bell. We're green on the day now, though, I'm pretty sure. But yeah, widespread. Yeah, these are companies. See, the problem is companies report these news late. So I see another company saying there have been widespread reports about a 45-day ceasefire over the last 12 hours. Just now, a U.S. White House official was asked about the reports. He said it's one of many ideas and that the president hasn't signed off on it. We heard this news earlier. Yeah, if we look at the VIX ahead of the opening bell, VIX was at 25 when I looked at it last. It's still basically around 20. It's not really moving too much. Well, it's not like it's spiking up a crazy amount. Oil has seen some increases here, though, maybe on these updated attacks. So you do see oil moving up. WTI is at 112s right now, 112s. So let's see what happens. But oil is higher. And again, ISM data is coming soon.
What did you say WTI was?
West Texas Intermediate crude. It's like
No, I mean, what was it priced at?
It's at 112.20s on WTI future.
Okay, so it's matching Brent roughly.
Yeah, it's been the spread has gotten a lot better.
Yeah, I noticed it whatever, I guess last week, but I was just curious. I was curious if that was going to hold. So it looks like it did.
Yeah. So the spread has gotten a lot better. Yeah, so we do have PMI data again, 10 o'clock today. That's probably the biggest thing moving markets potentially in terms of economic data today. There's some other small stuff, but today a bull or bear day, I have no idea. Right now we're bullish, but we're starting to fade back down into the Nasdaq here. So looks like I cut this position time too, but we got a little ways to go before the Nasdaq would technically go red again. It's right around 2020 or 24,220. What I mean, so it's right around this level. It's also the volume weighted average price. So I'm curious to see if we fill some of this gap at the opening bell or if we get some more optimism. But so far the volume's a little light today. Markets are all kind of pricing in. Maybe we're going to get a ceasefire. Maybe. But it's still very slow right now in terms of price action. It's not really super good. You know, the range isn't terrible, but it's still kind of slow. All right, here we go, guys. Let me know in chat right now. Are you bull or bear for the opening bell here? Bull or bear? US giving up all its leverage. Yeah. Bull for now. Yeah, we got 2.5 minutes here, so put bull or bear in chat. Let me know how you feel. Bull, bear, bull. I think there's mostly bulls in the chat. Y'all think we're going to continue up? I don't know. The Nasdaq looks bearish right here, but we are at the bottom of the range. And so it doesn't mean anything yet. Bull, bear. Bunch of bull. Open bear. Bully. Okay. Oil taking off. Yeah, oil has been flying over the last 10 minutes or so. We'll push the Nasdaq down. Oil's technically green on the day here. If you look at WTI crude, it's still green. Wait and see. Bullish. Bull trap. Yeah. Oil's up. More escalation maybe. But yeah, again, a senior White House official said plan for 45-day ceasefire between the U.S. and Iran is one of several ideas being discussed. News dropped maybe 45 minutes ago. Still kind of quiet here. Is a little stronger than the SPY.
Yeah, I saw people talking about gas prices. Any idea what the national average is right now?
I don't know. When I was driving back to Louisiana, I saw a couple really high prices. Like I saw a couple that were like $8 a gallon. I don't know if they were legit. Yeah, again, it was through the country. I don't know if they were legit or not, but I did see them on some signs. We didn't stop there, of course, and we kept going, and they were like it was like $4.30, $3.80 in some places. So it's higher for sure.
Yeah, it definitely is. I mean, where I am though, I mean, like, so unless you're getting
real quick.
Okay.
I don't mean to cut you off.
That's
Nasdaq
fine.
is falling down here. It could be on the market on open data, but look at the Nasdaq dip. Sorry, go ahead, Britt. Mark. Oh wait, there's the opening bell. I'm sorry.
That's fine.
All right, so there's the opening bell. Nasdaq has had a pretty big green candle though since the opening bell. Look at the Nasdaq push back higher here. The Nasdaq is getting a little bit of a resurgence at the opening bell here. Look at this move. The green movement since the opening bell. $397 in New Orleans. This bull action hold here, man. I don't know. I gotta wait a couple minutes. I think we're green on the day now after that last trade. But we are starting to push back up. We're over the 200 exponential here on this chart. Yeah, I mean, it's a green move at the opening bell. It could be a trap. If I look at oil is falling down and the Nasdaq is pushing higher here. So we'll see if we continue to get green action, but still pushing back up. We're at 24,340s, 24,350s here. Look at the Nasdaq rip. The Nasdaq is going up. Let's see if this holds today. It's too early to celebrate, I think, personally, but you know. We're up to 350s here. We tapped 350. You guys know me. I have to wait at least 5 minutes to trade this. We're only about a minute into the day. So.
Someone said, why does California have highest price gas? I've always heard it's due to taxes and environmental regulations.
Yeah. That sounds right.
Mostly, anyway.
Yeah, somebody said, watch it run today just based off of the teasing ceasefire news. Yeah, I mean, that's definitely possible. Remember, we do have ISM Services PMI at 10. So ISM Services PMI drop in less than 10 minutes. Or, I'm sorry, in less than 30 minutes. So, I'm tempted to buy this dip too, especially if we get down to the 200 exponential right here, like 310. I'm very tempted to buy it. But we're too close to the open, and I have to stick to my rules here. Watch it bounce right there. Of course, I didn't take the trade, so I just wanted to bump down here. $3.10. Feels bad, man. It feels bad. Wanted to take that 310 bounce. Down to 310. Now we're pushing back up. I blame you, Britt. I blame you.
I readily accept that blame. I can shoulder it.
It's definitely your fault. The VIX is open today. It's just not moving much right now. Dude, look at this rebound here. It's too early. I'm not gonna break my rules. It was a good setup though. But feels bad, man. Feels bad. I haven't even traded and I blame Britt. I mean, that's a smart move.
Does that mean I get credit whenever things go well too?
Of course not.
I didn't think so. That's not right, John. You should feel bad about that and doing me dirty there.
As Michael Scott famously said, Britt, you're an scapegoat. And no, I'm not stupid. I know it's scapegoat.
Michael Scott didn't.
Yeah, no. They're trying to make me an scapegoat. All right, so we're at 350s now. I should have bought that dip here. Now we're pulling back. Yeah, I'm still waiting here. What do you guys think we get? It looks bullish, of course, but I don't think the momentum's heavy enough for me to buy it yet. Yeah, Netflix is up after price increases, growth in ad revenue, and expansion into live sports. I'm a little stitious. That's right. I'm not superstitious, but I am a little stitious. All right, up to 370. You've got 1 hour. That's my favorite episode.
Had a great Easter, Blaze. A lot of food, a lot of family, and a lot of fun. And I think John had a pretty good Easter too, from what he says. Thanks for asking, though. Hope you had a good one.
Yeah, mine was good. Ate crawfish, visited family, drove back to Houston. All right, NASDAQ started to come back down. Here's that 310 level, but I don't like the retest. I never like the retest. And in fact, if we start breaking down, I might short. If we get down under 300s easily, I might short. But wait, 6 minutes into the day? Okay. We need to close at the very least under 300 for a second and then get a bounce to it. I'll short ideas. We're starting to push down here though. Look at this drop. Oh, yeah, it was a bull trap. If we get back up to 300, so I'll short 300 back up here, but it doesn't look like get it. Reversal here at the opening bell. And I do think with the CPI coming this week, that might scare markets. With the deadline being tomorrow, that might scare markets. So I said this when I first started the stream, but we might get baked into some bearishness today. All right, so there's a drop here. Now we're breaking down a little bit too much. I don't see any news here either. I think this is just the opening bell volatility. We get a decent enough bounce to like 290 or 300, I'll short. But I gotta wait for that.
I did it with my mind powers.
Yeah, I know. You don't get credit, you know? Only if we lose, you get blamed. You get blamed, no credit, Britt.
That's not right, John. I'm lodging an official protest against this.
The chat would agree with you, I think. Oil's rising. Yeah, oil is up. Nasdaq's down. Look, oil up to 113. So it's just showing more escalation. Got a little pop back higher here, but it's not enough. I want 290. Ah, man, what a bad fill. Yeah, I gotta cut some of this, even if... Okay, I mean, we're green, but... We just got pushed down so fast, I can't really... I mean, I guess it worked, to be honest, but... I'm gonna cut it right there. Again, it's just not what I wanted. I wanted up here, and it got pushed down so fast. My entry was bad. I want to cut it before my entry is worse. Oil's back up to 113s basically right now, but it's too much to... My entry was not where I wanted my entry. But look at oil. Here's oil right here on the chart, guys.
No, stop climbing.
What, oil? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, we get it now. I could short this 300 level again, though. Thinking about it. Problem is, if oil's up a lot, if it starts to correct back down, you know, it's not going to work that well. All right, we'll take one, and we'll add to it. Don't go green. Yeah, Trump is speaking at 1 o'clock today. We'll see what that does.
He always makes me nervous when I hear he's going to speak.
I don't know. I think markets are becoming more mean. I think when this conflict originally started, markets would move a lot. But now that it's been going for so long, okay, this short is really working here. We got one contract. Should I add or should I just happy? Got it right there. Get out in time. Yeah, it's a little rangy here. That's why I'm taking really short position. I mean, we're up a lot, but not a lot, but we're up enough to have a decent day. Trade oil. Yeah, look at oil. Oil's still pushing, but if oil starts to slow down here, the Nasdaq might get rebounded back up. So that's what I'm waiting here.
I'll be back in a second. Sorry.
Okay. You do have ISM services PMI that data dropping at 10 o'clock today, though, guys. We do have ISM services coming out. Yeah, we got the 10-minute opening range break, or opening range set up. We got something. I don't know if it's a good one here, clearly, but draw it. Ten-minute orb, really? Yeah, I'm green on the day for sure. It's a little bit more quiet today than I thought a Monday would be. I guess Easter Monday is a thing where people take it slow today.
All right, I'm back.
Uh,
I know y'all missed my riveting commentary, but
yeah,
you know,
you were gone for so long, dude. We didn't know what we would do here.
that's separation anxiety, did you?
That's right, man. That's right. When your computer went off earlier, I cried a little bit. You just didn't see it. 1 hour orb. Yeah, I don't know. I think orbs, opening range breakouts, you want to find the one most people are paying attention to. And I think, especially if we're talking about day trading the open, a lot of people are going to watch the 15-minute. We are 13 minutes into. So it depends on if we break this high level. But I think in terms of just consolidated interest, the 15-minute one is the standard one, I think, for the opening bell. I'm not saying people don't trade the 1 hour or people don't trade the 10-minute one. But I think I think a lot of people watch the 15-minute one. So we're looking for the 15-minute one, maybe. People use a bunch of different ones, yeah, for sure. All right, we are 14 minutes into the day. Here's the opening range so far. Again, ISM manufacturing PMI at 10 o'clock today. Definitely looks like this is going to be the range, unless we get a big move up short term. Next 30 seconds. It looks like this is going to be the 15-minute range. Check out the 9-9-30, fade the range on 5-minute close, take profit lower. Trade. Will ISM move markets? I'm not sure. It is March data, so it's the services sector in March. So it could. It depends on what the number shows up as, high or low. But it could. We'll see. Tried the 3-minute recently for fun, but not great results. I have over a year of data with 30 minutes, several months of the 15. Yeah, I think in general 15 minutes probably the biggest one with the most data on it. All right, guys. So here's the new candle here. Here's the first 15-minute range here, though. So here's the first 15-minute range since the opening bell. ISM data does drop in 15 minutes. We're starting to push towards the top. You guys like a longer short here. I'm very green on the day, so I've got, got some space and some room here, but I do have to wait for some good setups, which I don't necessarily like anything super heavy right here. This is deep green because everyone knows it'll be red as the president speaks. Yeah, 1 o'clock today, the president speaks again. All right, we just tapped the top of that opening 15-minute orb breakout. Alphabet stock's pushing up. Oil's coming back down as well. We can look at Nvidia here also. Nvidia just retraced some and starting to head back up after opening kind of red since the bell.
How's ISM data collected? Any idea?
Let me see. Each one's kind of collected differently.
Okay.
Yeah, so we're pulling back some here. We're at 350s. I want to see if we bounce at 350s. We got like a little bit of high volume area there. Yeah, it's surveys. This is what I thought it was. They said surveys to over 400 purchasing and supply executives across 20 industries. So.
Okay, cool. Thanks.
Yeah. But we did have this candle wick here. I'm curious to see if we're gonna break out or what. I'll be right back, Britt. I gotta go. I gotta go grab something. I'll be right back. Hold on.
Okay. That's fine. Sorry, guys. I have no idea what to talk about. I mean, take a survey. What are your favorite, I don't know, like muscle cars, classic cars, tuners, whatever? What are you guys into? I know I've talked about this recently, but, you know, something to talk about. Can I sing? I don't know if I can sing. I like to sing, but it's for me, really, not for anybody else. Yeah, I like the old school GTO personally as well. I like the 67 model. I like a 66 Continental with the suicide doors. And I was always a fan of the Super too. That was kind of a Fast and Furious thing for me. Yeah, I like the fastback too. I like the old GT500s. The Shelby Cobras were awesome. The 2-seater coupes. You can actually get repros of those with up to 1,000 horsepower motors. Yeah, the Camaro was a good one too. I was never like a super huge fan of the front end on those older Camaros, but overall I like the look of the car, and I love to see one in like a burnt orange.
All right, I'm back, and it doesn't look like the market has moved very much. I had to grab a sweater, dude. It's cold in here. It's kind of cold outside too. Is it cold where you're at, Britt?
It's cooler. Let me see what the temperature is. Like right now it's 54 here.
Yeah, it cooled up for sure in our parts too.
You don't need a sweater, just turn the heater on. Add to your power bill.
No, Britt. Do TikTok dances, they're saying. Yeah, do
Not a
some
good answer.
TikTok dances.
I could sing to you guys next time we have a gap. I mean, you know, if you like country music and classic rock, I mean, it's about all I sing. Southern rock, maybe.
Yeah, honestly, the NASDAQ hasn't done anything since I left. It's starting to push though, I'm not saying it's going up because I'm back, but it's trying. Market could be waiting for ISM data here as well. Again, ISM data drops at 10 o'clock today, so we have 9 minutes left until ISM data. So we'll see what we get with it, but yeah, this is ISM services.
Sorry, good.
No, you're good. Yeah, this is ISM services.
We were talking about what our favorite cars were while you were gone.
Hmm.
The only thing I could think of to fill the air.
That's fair. That's fair.
And any car stocks that I would buy at current levels. Honestly, I have no idea. I don't know what current like stock prices are for the different car companies. I could get a hold of like any new, like any novel car companies coming out. That'd be kind of cool. I don't think I could afford any existing stocks in any car companies that are already out there.
Okay, so look, the Nasdaq just got higher here. That 350 level did hold. New highs are 410s, which is right around the high of the day. So it looks like the Nasdaq did just break the high of the day. We are starting to push higher here. And maybe I'll buy the dip. We're just so close to the ISM data. Here's the problem. Yeah, we're getting so close to the ISM data. I gotta just...
Yeah, Max did try to get me to sing, but you kind of put me on the spot. I'm pretty shy, to be honest, about that. But I'll do it next time.
Yeah. We're at 410s. Did we get 350s here? I don't know if I want to buy 3. I might buy 340. Get a dip to it. Sitting in my hands, letting the chips fall. They may either take profit or stop loss. Yeah, I'm in another green trade, or a green day here. If you look at my, like, we're doing pretty good, on this Lucid funded account here. So this is a Lucid funded account. If you look at my P&L here, like, look, this is a 25K one. We have a couple of them. This is a 25K funded account. But if you look at my actual stats, we're doing pretty freaking good. You know, I'll show you guys the graph on it. But like, look. Like, it's pretty good. If you look at my P&L here. Here's the net P&L. So we're actually doing pretty good. This is missing. This is March. Yeah, here's April. So today we're up 125. So we're doing pretty good on this thing. We've had how many losing days? 4 out of 1, 2, 4, 5, 6.
I thought it was 3.
12, 13, 15. 4 out of 15 losing days. So we're doing pretty good in that regard here. We'll see if we can keep it up.
Over 60%, huh? I mean,
yeah, percentage wise we're doing okay. Yeah, we invest, we day trade, we do a lot, we do it all, you know. If anything, I'm probably the best at swing trading.
are you the best around? You know, Karate Kid.
Yeah. Nobody's gonna keep me down, Britt.
Including the market.
Honestly, that kid was a villain in that movie. You know, we've talked about this before.
Was. He was the instigator.
He was a villain, dude. Listen, if I'm Johnny, I might try to beat that kid up. You know, it's like, bro, you come in here, you move to town, you start talking to my girl.
Wise cracking him on the beach, you know?
Right. I'm a karate master, you know? Like, dude. A villain.
Yeah, Barney had it right on How I Met Your Mother. Johnny Lawrence was the Karate Kid.
Yeah, I believe that. All right, guys, listen. ISM data, 5 minutes here, 5 minutes. Yeah, I use TOS. Oil has pulled back a little bit, but I think I don't know if ISM data is really going to move markets. I don't know if it's going to. Okay.
I agree, the world is slightly less bright with Pat Morita gone from it, which, for those of you who don't know, is Mr. Miyagi.
Oh yeah, rest in peace. Why do y'all keep talking about the one-man wiggle? What are y'all talking about, dude? Y'all get out of here.
Yeah, I want to know what that is too. My curiosity is piqued.
You know what I'm Googling after the stream's done, you know. All right, guys, here we go. We have 4 minutes left, 4 minutes. ISM PMI data is expected today at like 55 something, if I remember correctly. Yeah, so remember, it is a holiday overseas. That's probably why we got less. But ISM manufacturing or ISM services PMI today expected at 54.8, 54.8. Previously, it was 56.1. Depends on where you look, though. Other places show it at 55.4 is the forecast. So I'm showing around 55 is what's expected today for ISM PMI data. It drops in 3 minutes. 3 minutes. We will put the sub-only mode in here. All right, here goes ISM data.
So it's predicted expansion.
Yeah. So over 50 is expansion, under 50 is contraction, right? So it's been in expanding territory for a while now. The previous one was 56 plus. This one's expected at 54.8. And this is the services sector, which is pretty encompassing sector, you know.
Yeah. Okay, well, fingers crossed then.
Yeah, you know, the services sector includes transportation, finance, healthcare, hospitality, and professional services. And when we looked at the jobs report recently, most of those sectors are expanding as well. So it depends on what the number shows in regards to how volatile the market will react in 2 minutes. We have about 2 minutes left. And so it depends on what the number shows up as, but yeah.
Alrighty then.
Yeah. Again, we have about a minute and a half left, chat.
I'm on tenterhooks.
Yeah, let's see what happens. Be interesting. All right, guys. About a minute left. About a minute left. Will this move markets? Put yes or no in chat right now. Will it move markets? What do you guys think? Yeah, I don't know, Archie Manning. I don't know. No? You don't think it moves markets? I think it moves it a little. Here, we'll see. It depends on the number. John Locke says no. Rooftop says no. Mythic says no.
I'm saying yes, just to be contradictory.
You might be right, honestly. It depends on what the number shows. Number shows super low, it might move markets. Maybe a hiccup. Yeah, that's kind of my take. I think it might move it slightly, but I don't know if we're going to have some big, bold reaction to it. 25 seconds here, guys. 25 seconds.
Well, let's just see if my world-renowned jinx holds out.
Yeah. Inverse Brit. You know, inverse Brit. Here comes the 10 a.m. dump. Yeah, I mean, we have data dropping at 10. Again, we have 20 minutes left. So far. All right, here we go. 10 seconds. All right, guys. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And here's the report right now. 54, weaker than expected at 54. It did move. Look at this. 54, weaker than expected. ISM manufacturing prices were noticeably higher as well for non-manufacturing prices. Services prices 70.7 versus 63 previously. So higher prices, weaker PMI data is what it shows. So we did get movement here from ISM data. And again, we had higher prices with ISM non-manufacturing prices at 70.7. Previously, it was 63. And we had services PMI for March ISM data show up at 54 versus 54.8. So weaker sector data. And market honestly has reacted positively now after dipping down some for the first thing. But you can see it did move markets a little bit. The market is responding to it. Look at this candle wick right here. Is this bull or bear, guys? Let me know. Bullish or bearish on this ISM data. But again, we did show up weaker than expected for ISM services, higher prices and weaker services than expected at 54 versus expected 55. Previous was 56. The weaker trends here. We'll put this data up on screen. But yeah, here's the data right here. Nasdaq is reacting negatively to this report. I almost want to short it as well as we get back into this range, but we're going right back into the previous high right here. Yeah, Nasdaq is reacting negatively so far.
How impactful would you say like a slight overestimation like that actually is?
What, an expected versus outcome?
Yes. I mean, when it's just a little bit lower like that. I mean, I don't know how impactful that small range is, you know?
Yeah, I mean, the greater number over or under the expected, the more reaction we generally get. And so it's not a huge miss for ISM services, but it is a miss. And I think the scary thing that might negatively impact markets from this report specifically is the prices. Prices went up to 70.7 versus 63 previously. So, you know, a little bit of look at services sector since March started. And I might short a little bounce here if we get one. Up to 75 maybe is what I'm looking at. All right, there's 75. We'll short that. Add to it if it goes deeper in the green, which is what we've been doing all day, so that we're not taking too much risk either way. We wait until we get green, we add to it, but it needs to be for green, starting with micros first. But again, we got a pretty decent cushion on the day here, so we'll see if we can add to that cushion or what. Push down, not enough to add to it though. I need a larger move down. Market's still unsure of itself here, I think. And again, we do have a lot of economic data this week that might push markets back down. We got the deadline tomorrow. There we go. There we go. You can just hold this break even now, I think. Give it some time to break down some more though. There we go. Should I add to it or just take profit now? Got it right there. I don't want us to bounce. We're up a pretty decent amount though. I don't know if we've had any losing trades today. I really don't. Have I had any Oh, I had one losing trade for sure this morning, but we've traded what, 5 times? Nothing but green outside of that.
Plus that losing one was my fault anyway. We know that.
Yeah, no, 100%. The president speaks at 1 o'clock today, guys. The Trump speaks at 1 o'clock. So, yeah.
Also, I believe in you, John.
Huh?
I said, also, I believe in you.
I know. Listen, you should. I'm the shining light of this space, you know?
The guiding light of YouTube trading.
Yeah. With my $150 profit day today. Listen, you know. Hard to be this good. Yields are up after data though. Look at yields. So yeah, so yields are spiking a little bit on this ISM data. That high price print is going to make inflation worries more profound is what this is, right? So the high price print is going to make inflation worries here. And that is making markets price in potentially less rate cuts. It already didn't look like we were going to get cuts, but the prices paid number, again, I think that number was bad. Nasdaq's starting to turn a bit. So this is what I'm saying. A lot of people didn't think we would move at all from this report. We're moving from this report so far.
So you said prices went from 63 to 70. I mean, what metric is that? Like, how do you quantify that, or how do I quantify that?
It's percentage based, is what it is. Hold on, look at this red. Look at this red show up. All right, so we're starting to head up. Here's the 200 exponential at 320. Yeah, join our Discord. It's completely free. It doesn't cost anything. There's the link right there. Check it out. We appreciate it. Trying to head back up here. Let's see if we get if we get to 320, maybe I'll short. We don't have as much stopping in right now, and it is past 10 o'clock. But you know, maybe we'll short if we get up there.
Was it down about 130 points over the last few minutes?
I'll have to check, but it's down a decent amount. Again, ISM PMI data definitely helping tank this. Just to put this into perspective, people are acting like it's not from PMI data. PMI data showed up here. You know? And so it's definitely from the PMI data. It's the higher, look, yields jumped, right? Showing higher interest rate sentiment is what this is. So higher interest rate sentiment, high yields, that's what's going on. Prices paid number was higher than last time. Consumer sentiment, or not consumer sentiment, PMI data was weaker and prices paid was higher. And so markets are, that's a hawkish report. Markets are getting baked into that hawkish report. Especially ahead, again, CPI data this week on Friday includes March's inflation rising conflict aspects, right? So the conflict started in March. The previous CPI reports were not as relevant because they didn't include the increases to oil and gas that we've seen from this conflict. That data drops in March, or that data drops for March CPI on Friday this week. So you kind of want to short this area here. Volume profile. See. We have a cushion, so we're gonna take more risk. It's gonna be today. Let's see again. Shorted. I think that short would have worked as well. PMI ended up being TMI. Too much information? Yeah, markets definitely didn't like it. You guys long or short right here? What do you guys think, chat? Long or short? I don't know. Also, guys, another one of my sponsors, if you want to check it out, is a company called Chart Prime. They have some really nice indicators. Really nice indicators. If you look at this, let me show you guys some of these indicators on the chart. My personal favorite one is the Market Oracle Pro. They have a bunch of different ones. They have a ton of good resources. Look at some of these indicators here. Like if you look at some of these, we're getting back up to that 200 exponential, but if you look at some of these here, really solid. Again, I can't guarantee anything. Nothing's right 100% of the time, but look, boom. That one worked. That one worked a little bit. Look at this one. Strong drop. Strong bounce. Keep scrolling back here. Look at that short drop. Strong bounce. Strong drop. Strong bounce. Strong drop. Strong bounce. Strong drop. So Chart Prime has really, really good indicators. Look at this buy signal here. Solid. Sell signal there. Nothing works 100% of the time. But I do like using Chart Prime. I think Chart Prime has some great stuff. And I've been using them for years. I've been working with them for years. And so if you want a trading view indicator, they're one of the best. I'll put this link up. It's a great way to help support the channel. Let me put full screen up so you guys. We're right at the 200 exponential moving average here. Yeah, so again, let's see if we hold.
Good for you, Polaris. I'm glad you caught a good break. You know, congratulations.
Yeah, I hope you're doing good, Sam. We did reject at the 200 exponential, dude. But yeah, if you want to check them out, here is the link.
Adriano asked how they can get that indicator you were talking about.
Yeah, there's the link right there if you want to check out Chart Prime. We are rejected right there at 200 exponential. Again, they are an affiliate of mine. I'm biased. I get paid by them, so naturally I'm biased in their favor, but genuinely useful. But I think if I should have shorted this. I was really thinking about it. Micron is also up over 5% on the day due to rising industry prices, start of HBM4 mass production, and raising profit expectations. I don't know. We're pretty green on the day right now. I just don't know what to do with this right now. Good thing I didn't short, because look, we're back up here. We just have this really tight range. What are we, 40 minutes into the day? So I'm wondering if it, you know, people are watching this range right here, this opening range.
Also, even if you are biased towards a sponsor, which inevitably you would be, as long as it's not unfounded bias, I don't think that there's really a problem with it. Like,
Yeah,
if they put out a genuinely good product, which, you know, I'm sure they do.
Yeah, I mean, what you learn is that people are just going to complain regardless. I don't sell a course, don't sell a service, don't even claim to be a good trader, you know, and like,
Yeah.
people are going to find reasons. Like most of the time, it's like one person who gets banned or one person. Like what you learn is like when you get a decent amount of people in any stream, you get a couple weirdos, man. Like you get a couple people that just don't have anything else to do. They're hyper insecure, and they just kind of want to like drag other people down. Maybe it's ways they vet. I don't know what they're doing, but you know, you learn to just ignore them.
Yeah, I get what you mean.
Are you guys red or green on the day right now? I'm green on the day. We've had a pretty good day so far. Yeah, the 1 o'clock Trump meeting. That's going to be an interesting meeting. We'll see what he says. Honestly, the last meeting, I thought he was going to say a lot. People priced in some big stuff happening on the last meeting, and we ended up dropping down big because he didn't really say anything. Nothing outside of things that he had already been saying. And so, I'm showing most people are red, green, lime green. Hey, I'm pretty lime green as well. I've had like 4 trades we've been green out of. I think 3 of them. Might have been 5. So we're running around, you know, 75% accuracy. Maybe 80%.
Waylo asked if we've heard of Iran's threatening to close the Bab al-Mandeb Strait yesterday. I don't even know where that is. Like, in relation to the Strait of Hormuz.
Yeah, to be honest, I didn't really see that news either. I was traveling all yesterday, so I don't know. That front, I'm not sure. 0 trades today? No trades? Options trading. Hey, nice roof. Up 2270 on the day. Hey, congrats, brother. Apple's still pushing. Yeah, I see some stocks running here. Bitcoin did pop over 70,000 for a little while today, but it's dropped all the way back down. Oil's starting to dip down. So oil actually just went red on the day. Oil under 112s now. So oil starting to dip a little bit here. I think markets could be just waiting for the Trump meeting too, to be honest here. You know, if Trump speaks at 1. Rare red today. I had 1 high quality trade set up and missed me a couple points. Happy to remain patient. Down a little today. Yeah, I almost shorted right here. I stopped myself. It looks like it was the right move because we're really in a range here. Like, we have a broader range. Starting to get used to trading view, but not as much as I could. But yeah, we're just in this range now. We got the top up here. We're pushing down here, so we're in this range. So if you guys think maybe we're gonna trend sideways until Trump speaks, maybe there's some trade setups there. I really don't know. ISM data did move markets a little bit, but is it enough to scare the markets that much? I don't think so.
Are we streaming until he speaks?
Until Trump?
Yeah, it's a long way away, right?
No, we're not streaming that long. Yeah, it's
okay.
Yeah, it's in 2 hours. We're not streaming it. Or in 3 hours, I'm sorry. 2.5 hours. 2 hours 45 minutes.
Okay. And thanks to everybody for telling me where that other strait is. I'm not going to try to say the name again. I fumbled it once.
And there's a lot of names. A lot of names is what you learned.
Yeah. Never give up, Britt. I'll do my best. Never give up. Never surrender. Dude, I love that movie. R.I.P. Alan Rickman.
Yeah.
I gotta mute the mic. I can't stop laughing.
That's your catchphrase. Yeah.
By Grabthar's hammer, what a savings.
I showed my kids Galaxy Quest. They loved it. They loved it.
It's so good.
Yeah, it really is. Big tech earnings this month. Yeah, we got earnings this month. Yeah. We do. I'm curious to see what earnings season brings us here, though. Yeah, we ended up watching Never Back Down. My son. He loved it. He loved it, you know.
Which is a better version of Karate Kid. I'm sorry, like, look, I love the classic, you know, Ralph Macchio, all that stuff, Pat Morita, but Never Back Down was just more fun, in my opinion.
Yeah, I like Never Back Down more because I do jujitsu, so, like, it's better because of that.
Well, just
still not realistic, you know, still hyper ridiculous, but
what makes you view, like, and look, there karate obviously has its place in MMA as well. I mean, you know, Lyoto Machida and all that, but like it makes you view like tournament karate in a more honest light.
Yeah, I mean, the Karate Kid just was ridiculous.
Yeah.
All right, so
like,
Nvidia's. Or go ahead.
No.
Actually, I think the news I was about to read is old anyway. I think.
You cut me off for nothing.
I know. I saw Nvidia CEO Jensen Huang speaks, but I think it was an old clip. I love Karate Kid. We watched the whole series with my family. We watched Karate Kid 1. He's kind of the villain, but, you know, we suspend our disbelief in him not being the villain for that movie. We watched Karate Kid 2, which, you know, listen, guys, the drums helps you win fights, apparently.
Karate Kid 2 was, in my opinion, the best one. Like, I enjoyed that the most. Like, it, taking place on Okinawa was fun.
Yeah, and then Karate Kid 3, bad guy with ponytail. You know, we even watched Cobra Kai. We didn't finish the last one, though. It got a little bit too repetitive. But it was.
I just couldn't get into it for some reason. Like, I enjoyed the characters, but I couldn't get into the storytelling for whatever reason.
Yeah.
But did you show the kids the next Karate Kid with Hilary Swank? You know, the real good one?
The real Karate Kid. That's the real one. No.
Yeah.
No, I've never even seen that one. But I've heard it's bad.
It's bad.
Yeah.
I mean, like, it was fun as a kid, but it's bad.
Yeah. No, I mean, I figured.
Yeah, the only one worse than that was the like the Karate Kid reboot with Jackie Chan and Jaden.
I didn't see that one either.
It was not fun.
Yeah, I mean, I never saw it. I was really into the Karate Kid when I was like a kid.
Well, yeah. I mean,
When you're 30 something, it just doesn't hit the same, you know.
yeah, when you're older than the characters, than the people who are playing the characters.
Right, you relate more. There's a lot of movies that I rewatch now, and I relate more to like the parents, you know,
Yeah.
than I do the main character. You know, at this point in time, I'm relating to the parents now. You know, and I'm like, you know what, the parents are right.
When he played in that.
Yeah, no, I believe that. Yeah, yeah. All right, guys, look, the market's not doing anything. It's slow. I think the market's waiting for the Trump speech. So I'm going to cut out of here. So yeah, I'm going to get out of here. Again, if you haven't already, check out Apex. Apex, a great way to learn. Most day traders lose money. And so if you fund your own account, you're probably going to lose like most day traders do. I did when I first got started. Almost everybody does. Right now, Apex has 90% off sale going on. That sale ends Thursday, I believe, for 90% off. And if you want cheap accounts that, you know, you're still probably going to lose because most day traders just, right? But if you want cheaper accounts, Apex is probably the one because the base account on Apex is $19.90. If you use my coupon code BT at checkout, it's $19.90. So it's the cheaper accounts that you can learn on. You're still taking some risk, right? But it's not the risk of funding 5, 10, 20, 30 grand into your account and probably losing it like most day traders end up doing here. And so with that said, if you want to check it out, you can find all the main ones. Again, Tradeify has got some good stuff too. Tradeify is getting pretty big. Take Profit Trader has the best beginner rules, in my opinion. Lucid has great rules and direct to funded accounts. And Apex has the cheapest accounts. Those are all the best things about each one. You can find all of those links in the description. You can use my coupon code BGT and check out BGT. I appreciate the love, guys. Y'all be good. We'll see what happens for the rest of the day. But yeah, Trump speaks noon. Or no, Trump speaks 1 o'clock today is when he's scheduled to speak. He's scheduled to speak at 1. So we will see what we get. Y'all be safe. Have a great day.
Later, everybody. Have a good day or night.
I'll see you guys later.
Depending on where you are.
Yeah, I think it's at 1 o'clock today.
All right, later, everybody.
Have a great day. Remember, not an investment professional. Some links are affiliate links, all that good stuff. I'll see you guys later. Y'all be good. Have a great day.